Welcome to Whiskey Club episode 3, where we talk about controversial things that some people may or may not talk about on Twitch. And we're here to drink also whiskey and talk about our whiskeys and everything like that. And I guess I'll be the first one to go ahead and start. This is a very hard name to pronounce for me.
Oh, we're going straight into what we're drinking. Let's go.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not fucking around today.
Didn't know. No fucking around today.
No 4.5 hour one
we can fuck around while we're doing it.
It's how did you say it again?
I think
It's
Auchentoshan.
Auchentoshan. And it says let it roll off your tongue. It's a 12-year whiskey. That's what it says on the back.
Is it supposed to
roll off your tongue?
Roll off which direction?
So what am I supposed to drink? Like put it in my mouth and just
Ah.
that was nice. That was good whiskey. It's a single malt whiskey. It's distilled 3 different times. It's delicate and layered. It's amazing. It's probably actually my favorite whiskey I've had to this date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it say where it's from? Where it's distilled?
Product from Scotland. Springburn.
Alcoholics over there, man.
In Scotland. In Glasgow. G21. That's right. I can give you the whole address.
Oh, so
that's go there.
That's from hardcore Scotland.
But I mean, look at it. Look how nice and beautiful that color.
The glasses are off tonight. We're not doing it. It does look good. I think it's got like a classic vibe to the label as well as like and like this classic, but it's also hip, and you know the style nowadays is kind of the smooth, retro, like clean shit. You know what I'm saying? It's got that.
It's dark as well. It's dark as fuck.
Yeah,
color.
I still hate the barcode.
That's how I feel about the Jura too. The Jura does that same thing with their design. Is that maybe the same?
I don't know, but I still hate. I wish they would remove barcodes.
Maybe put them on the bottom or something.
Yeah, exactly. Put it on the bottom, or up here where you peel it off later. You know, it just it bugs me every time. I mean, yeah, it's only a $30 bottle of whiskey, but
well, the thing is,
a little class.
It comes in a box, right? So
I was just gonna fucking say that. It comes in a fucking box.
Bottle?
Yeah, it does come in the box here as well. So I mean,
and in the UK, inside the boxes, the bottles are actually security tagged. So,
shit! Open them and put. Do they? At what point do they put the security tags on them? Because I feel like I would get super pissed if I was at the store. And they're like, go tag the whiskey.
If that's your job, you're the whiskey tag bitch.
So that would suck.
Let me read a little bit of it. It says you're holding one of the only triple distilled single malt whiskeys. We've been crafting in city since 1823. So I mean, it's good. It's got
that was a good year.
A little caramel toffee and dried orange and grapefruit.
Caramel.
That's how
tomato.
It's like a California stripper's name. My name's Caramel.
I met some candies.
You leave California.
Ladies and gentlemen, up on the stage next, you know her, you love her, Caramel. Hold on, what?
But it's super easy to drink. It really is. The first hint is like a toffee, and then you get a real like harsh like whiskey. You're like, oh, there's the alcohol, and then it brings it back down into like an orange. It's really good. It's my favorite.
Slides you back down to the orange.
All right, let's move on to Jake.
All right, bet. So tonight I am drinking on the Macallan 12 years Highland single malt Scotch whiskey. Beautiful little bottle right here. It's double casked. Don't know much about it, but this motherfucker is tasty. If you guys were here last week, let everybody know that I'm not much of a whiskey drinker, and this one is it's delicious. It might be my second favorite, next to what Dan is going to be introducing. Are you drinking that one tonight, Dan?
Which one?
The one that you showed us earlier.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it. Okay, all right. So this one has a. Okay. This one has a. It says deliciously honeyed ginger and citrus balanced with raisins and caramel. Caramel? Caramel.
My
and
name's
it's
Caramel, and I want world peace and to solve world hunger. And thanks to God and my parents.
fucking sweet, right? All right.
Sorry, I had to do that.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. The aroma that it gives off is butterscotch. I smelt that. It was, oh my god, yeah. It's got it. Like I said, it's fucking delicious. Candied orange, vanilla custard, and I didn't smell the vanilla custard. I don't know who the fucking smelled that.
What's a candied
I
orange?
I don't know. Candied orange, bro. Whatever it says.
Well, you candy something, don't you? Like bake it in like syrup or sugar or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that what it
Okay.
is? Oh, okay.
All right. It says so it says creamy butterscotch with a hint of toffee apple.
Oh, nice.
That's what, man. It's matter of fact, I might have to change this to my favorite. It was a very, very expensive bottle. I had to go up to the info counter at the store just to get them to open up the case for me to get it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's when you know you're balling. That's when you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I went and spent a little bit on it. I needed a new bottle because the missus decided that she wanted to drink mine last weekend.
Yeah.
Nice of her.
Yeah. It's I don't know if I said it's 12 years aged.
Right. Okay.
How's the honey flavor in it? Is it pretty?
That's, I think, from last week. Hendo gave me a tip that the honey is the harshness, right? So
I think that's
yeah. And I think that's where I get it from, but it's not as harsh as what was I drinking last week? The Craggamore. Not as harsh as the Craggamore. I actually enjoy it. I think I'm becoming a whiskey drinker.
You're a whiskey fucking snob.
Yeah.
Oh,
Next thing you know, he's gonna start drinking wine. And we're gonna have to disband.
I will never. I don't like that. That shit gives me a fucking headache.
Time out, boys. Time out. Everybody, time out. Bad golfer 1018. My father is in the chat.
Hey!
What up, Daddy Cox?
Daddy Cox.
Is that weird?
Made it in the 21st century.
It's not weird. It's not weird.
It's not weird at all.
It's so big it had to be plural. Cheers, pops.
Yes.
Welcome.
Love it.
Welcome.
I can't believe you actually made this thing.
So I go next.
Anyway,
Or do you want to do
oh, Rob should go next.
Yeah, Rob,
let's
you
go
next. Come on.
Yeah,
I'll go. So for my first glass before we started, I'm on the cheetah still. Since we got some new faces.
You just see what he put in chat.
Goals via the club.
Okay, I can see where you get it from.
Brilliant.
So the cheetah, this is the still the same that as last week, but we're gonna get a little bit fancy this week because we're doing the cheetah as the starter drink. But I know I've been doing that for a couple weeks now. So we're gonna get fancy here and hold on to your britches. All right, we're going with Jameson for the rest of the remainder of the evening. Okay, a little bit of Irish whiskey here, boys and girls.
I was wondering how long it would be before that crept in.
Old trusty James.
If you guys don't know, James is Rob's favorite.
This is my favorite. This one's good. You know, I haven't read too much about them. I know they're Irish, so that's cool.
Hey, Brad.
But triple distilled Irish whiskey. We'll be drinking that tonight. Let's see if we get fucking destroyed from it.
We're gonna do what we can.
What is it you like about Jameson's then? Why do you like it so much? Have you just
you know what? I think with Jameson, it's more of the nostalgia of my little brother, and then my friends and us going to the bar when I was home on leave, and then they were drinking Jameson, and they introduced me to it. Then I started drinking Jameson with them. So not only is it good, it's good, but I think it's more reminds me of good times that I've had. You know what I mean? Like it's a nostalgic kind of drink for me, and that's weird. That's not really weird, but I just like it because it's just
it is weird.
No, I don't think it's weird at all. Just because you never had any friends until now doesn't mean that.
Oh, fucking shots fired!
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Jeez.
Yo,
Sweet.
fucking done your gear.
All right, that was a good stream, guys. We'll see you at the next one.
Josh is gonna go and cry. We'll catch you in a bit.
I can
love you, Josh.
I can give you a shoulder.
You ever tried to cook? You ever cooked with Jameson?
No. It sounds like a good idea.
Oh, dude, it's
if my cholesterol wasn't through the goddamn roof, I'd be cooking with it. But
all right,
wow. Whiskey is scientifically proven to help with that shit.
I know that's why I'm so excited because I was like, I have to quit the whiskey club, but then God was like, nah, bro, Drink up.
Drink as much as you want.
Yeah.
got
Well,
this.
I suppose alcohol thins your blood, right? So if you got high cholesterol and
Mm.
your arteries are closing up, just drink, man. You'll be fine. That blood be flying through there.
Stay drunk.
Fuck, yeah.
I just want to
this
say,
week-
drink.
Sounds
drink,
like a plan.
drink responsibly.
We are not medical doctors. Please don't.
Yeah,
I know how you liberals like to follow everything you read online, but
Yeah.
try not to this time.
Yeah, there's Arctivist in there. Where you at?
Yeah, I know,
There
right?
somewhere.
So I suppose I'll go next. It was a last minute purchase. I literally went and bought it from the store like 20 minutes before we started. I think.
I'm upset that you got it for cheaper than what I got it for.
I know, right? So it should have been like I think it should have been like 32 quid. It was reduced to 25, and then I scanned it through the checkout and it was 17. So I was like, yes, let's go. I'm drinking
A fucking deal.
Talisker Storm. Now this is
Yeah, it looks so good.
I've had it before quite a while ago, and when I drank it, I said it was fucking amazing. But the bottle, they've paid so much attention to detail on the bottle and how nice it looks. I can't get too close because the focus will fuck it. But yeah, it's beautiful. So
What?
Talisker Storm, intense Talisker with a profoundly maritime character, like a warm welcome from a Hebridean sea, which is I like that word. If you don't know the Hebrides, the Outer Hebrides, there's the water around there basically. So it doesn't.
How dare you insult my intelligence of the Hebrides
Well,
Sea?
I was going to say you're American. You only know America exists.
Oh,
Do you
only
guys walk
follow
out-
the winners.
Do you guys walk out your front door and go, "Fuck, I'm in Germany"? Shit.
Sometimes I would. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, where the fuck?
I often find myself
yeah.
goose stepping to the mailbox.
Just get up in the morning and go, right, try not to shoot anyone. Oh wait, I'm in Germany. Shit, okay.
We don't own guns here.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They know it.
So it
Kidding.
says, let me have a read of this. To know
Oh, chilled
Talisker,
whiskey ice.
to know Talisker is to feel the power of the sea and sense its rugged location on the banks of Loch Harport and the foreboding Isle of Skye. It doesn't have a flavour profile on or anything like that. It just basically says it's fucking wicked and the sea is the bollocks, basically, is what.
Nice.
Yeah, made by the sea. It's really good. It's super fucking sweet. It's dark as shit. It's almost like a rum colour. It's really dark.
It is fucking dark.
Yeah,
I like it.
It pours
You said
like
it's
that as well.
sweet?
Yeah, super sweet. It's got really, really sweet like aftertaste. So I would say out of all the whiskies, it's hard to say that actually because there is one that I fucking adore. But out of all the
one's that?
whiskies I've drank so far, I would recommend everyone try Talisker Storm. You've had
Absolutely.
Talisker.
I would second that.
Have you had Storm or did you have Sky?
I had Storm.
Did
I had
you?
Storm.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. It's really,
It was
really good.
amazing. Oh yeah.
That and the Lafroig. Which one did I have? Lafroig Select. That's probably that's a game for me. That is Lafroig Select.
That's actually the one I was going to debut episode 1 with, but I had other plans and didn't come.
Okay,
Yep.
that's fine.
I tried that Glenfiddich again, that 15-year Glenfiddich, just to bring it back to that because that shit is still disgusting.
Still disgusting. All right.
Are you
Even
trying?
after
You
it's
trying to like it?
So 10 out of
Yeah,
10
I
would
was
not
trying.
recommend.
Yeah, because I mean the bottle looks good, the labeling looks good. It's all about Jaeger this, Jaeger that, and it's like, well, it should be good.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's
Jaeger,
still
Jaeger as in like Jägermeister?
no Jaeger isn't like hunting.
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
That was,
not
that
the
was my
actual
second thought.
Jägermeister.
The German came out in me too.
Yeah.
That was my second thought.
Pump the brakes, bud.
Yeah, boss.
Should we talk about what's been going on this week? What we've been doing? What's been pissing us off? What's been good? Like, and we focus like the past 2 episodes. We've just talked about what's been pissing us off. So I think we need to put a little bit of light into the life of, the stream maybe.
Okay, all right. All right, hold on. Let me start off then, putting out a little bit of light. So I just found out that the star, Beetlejuice, right?
Yeah.
So when it's because it's about the supernova, and when it does supernova, it's not going to affect Earth. So everybody who's fucking got anxiety about impending death, chill out. Rob. So apparently it's going to be so bright that it's going to be like a second moon in the sky for for 3 months. It's supposed to be as bright. What is it? Supposed to be as bright as a half moon.
No shit.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Way.
Yeah.
So when's that due to happen?
It could happen anytime soon. It could be fucking tomorrow, or it could be in like 200 years. But all right. So let me go ahead and say this because I've done some research on it because I know how fucking Rob acts. All right. No, I'm just kidding. I love you. I'm not a scientist, but I do believe what some scientists say. That star is
Bill Nye.
Yo, Bill, don't you dare talk about him. That man is a saint.
He is
a saint, but not a scientist.
Same. That's what religion says.
Hey, that's debatable. Oh my god! No, but it will not affect us when it does supernova. It will have no effect except for it's going to be bright as fuck in the sky.
That's an effect.
All right.
How is it gonna shine fucking all the way here that we're able to see it for months and it's not gonna affect us at all?
Do you
It's
know
gonna
how?
just stop.
Do you know how space and time works? I mean,
no, he does. Obviously
knows
not.
how that shit works.
Obviously not. I mean, well, we have a very good.
We have not very good in the vast majority of in the big picture. We don't know shit about shit.
You know, next week we're gonna get a Discord message saying, "Sorry boys, I'm out. I've moved to Texas and I am now a prepper." And that's gonna be Rob.
No, I'm going to fucking Greenland. Okay, I've watched the movie. I'm out.
Me and fucking that dude. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it was great. Really good.
Sylvia couldn't watch it because she can't do like that kind of shit. Like my anxiety comes from like sickness, but like if like I told her, she said I have such an ego or I'm a narcissist that I was like, I wouldn't mind if there was like a planet destroying comet, because then I'm like, at least when I go, everybody's fucking coming with me.
I won't be fucking alone.
So what movie are you guys talking about?
Greenland
with
Gerald Butler.
Yeah,
I was thinking
so good.
It's when you shrink yourself. Go on. And you made the world better and stuff. They go up to Norway and escape, or they go into those tunnels and stuff and caves and what do they have down there? And then, yeah.
What movie is that?
With the Italian Job guy,
Mark Wahlberg.
Jason Bourne. No, Jason Bourne guy.
Oh,
Jason Statham.
I don't know.
Jason Statham.
Yeah, Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Oh, please tell me. Oh, that's the worst movie I've ever seen.
He goes up to Norway, though.
That is the worst movie I've ever seen. I might do my rant on that. The only movie Sylvia and I have ever walked out of was that dumb ass fucking movie that you're talking about. That was the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
Nah, it can't be as bad. It can't be as bad as that fucking bullshit Tom Hanks film about a social media company.
The Circle?
Oh my god. I love Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is, for me, is the actor of like sort of our time.
Is he the bee's knees?
And then he's the dog's bollocks, the mutt's nuts.
Is that how you guys?
He's the queen's hamstrings.
He's the queen. How dare you talk about the queen like that?
You leave the royal alone, goddamn.
Yeah. So
I can talk about Harry though.
Oh no, he's a saint as well.
He's not a royal anymore, though.
Well, that's true. Yeah, so you can say
he's
what
a pure-blooded American, but he came over. What's that guy that snitched? What's his name? Oh, back in the day.
Ed Snowden.
He was like, the redcoats are coming. No, like way back in the day.
Oh, right, okay. A relative of Ed Snowden. Can you imagine if they traced it back and he was like related to Edward Snowden somehow? I don't know why. That would be funny. It just would. That'd be hilarious.
That'd be weird.
Are we all going to get killed off by the CIA because we said Ed Snowden?
Nah, dude.
I ain't scared. Try me.
Watch that film. It was actually very interesting.
That I want to watch.
That's not a noise.
Really good.
I like the actor that plays him. I don't remember his name.
Yeah.
That's actually I want everyone to know that's actually very rare that Rob doesn't know someone's name.
Yeah,
he was the same kid from Looper.
From Luther?
Looper. Luther's a great
Oh, hey, I know exactly who you're referring to, but I don't know his name either.
Oh no, I see it. I'll be pissed.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Did Biden? What was it? The State of the Union. He
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Union. That was amazing.
Yes.
that's positive news. He didn't
Wait.
answer any questions though. So
Wait, did he speak or did someone speak in his place?
no. He spoke himself. But as soon as he was done, he turned around and walked right out.
He won't take questions. He won't take questions at all from anyone.
I don't think
it's not that he wants to take questions, but his advisors are like, no. Like they have like a fucking shot collar on that motherfucker.
Do you know what?
Advisor.
I reckon that after after Trump's sort of time in that seat, I do think that's going to affect American politics massively in the way it moves forward with stuff like that.
100%.
Like advisors going like, don't answer any questions because we don't have the faith that you can carry your own.
No,
And
we didn't elect the advisors.
You might laugh, Jake, but if you look at
I believe you. That's why I'm laughing.
Oh, right, okay. If you look at the run up to him being elected and some of the shit that he's had and some of the dramas that he had, like whether it be health related or whatever, who the fuck knows, like they want to be, they want to keep him out of that spotlight as much as possible. I still think it's up for discussion who's actually running the fucking country and calling the shots. I think it's
well, I mean, it's not.
It definitely ain't us. That's for sure.
The vice president,
Kamala Harris.
Yeah, everyone's saying that she's running the shots, right? The fucking narc.
Had a little something in my mouth right there. I just swallowed it back up.
That's what everyone's calling her. I can say that because I'm not American, so it's cool.
I mean,
no, I'm not.
What? You're not what?
I'm a nomad, bro. I'm out. I'm a person of the earth.
Did you guys?
I'm an earthling.
Did you guys see the British fucking?
Earthling.
You might not see the British media drama with.
Nope.
No, I don't think so. So we have this morning television show, right? Is it Good Morning?
Good Morning Britain.
Yeah,
bro. I know what you're talking about.
You got that fucking asshat Piers Morgan
he's such an ass.
He is an ass, but the thing I like about him when he's got politicians on, he fucking presses the shit out of them. Like, and I dig that. He's on top of him, but he does that with fucking average Joe who's been walking down the street and asks the question. And he gets in his face and starts like grilling him, and it's like, dude, this guy doesn't know shit.
Chill the fuck out, Pierce.
Actually,
so
he hasn't even graduated college yet. Chill.
So what happened was, he's always had a strong opinion and been flaming like Harry and Meghan and all that. He apparently had a personal stake in the relationship with Meghan or whatever, and she cut him off because he's a fucking douche. So the weatherman on Good Morning Britain called him out live on air, and rather than cutting it off, they let it run. They took an ad break and then came back, and the co-presenter went, "Carry on," and he just and he walked off. He walked off set, and then next day he quit the show.
What was amazing for me though is that weatherman, how composed he actually was.
Yeah, man, and you know what? Everything that dude was saying was 100%.
100%. I mean, most of it was
that guy's opinion, man.
Yeah, most of it was opinions. I mean, it's not 100% great. It's just an opinion. Yeah. But he stayed calm. He didn't let Pierce get to him. He didn't let the news get to him. He didn't let the popularity get to him. He literally stood fast.
You know what I was saying the other night about discourse and stuff like that, and like the fucking drama with language and how it's killing discourse and all that shit. That guy, that weatherman, is a fucking example of how discussions are had and made, and everyone needs to fucking watch that and take stock, and not even if you don't agree with what the guy's saying, just check the way he's doing it and the way he's bringing stuff across, because he wasn't a dick about it. He was he seemed pretty educated, and to be a weatherman, you got to be educated.
Yeah, he was very educated. Yeah, of course.
Send me that and I'll watch it sometime.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, it's really fucking good, man. It's really good, and he calls him the fuck out. But so now Meghan's made a complaint to Ofcom, which is our like regulating body, about Piers Morgan and shit, and about him being a piece of shit and saying stuff. Because he said, I think the drama was about, he said live on air that all the stuff that she's saying about mental health, he didn't say I call bullshit on it, but he said I don't believe a word of it. I think she's lying.
Yeah. Yep.
And questioning people's mental health is a bit... Yeah. But question, I mean, it doesn't it doesn't matter who you are away from. Fucking mental health gets anyone. Right?
Exactly.
And it's
yeah.
ruthless. You know,
Yeah.
so it's a bold shout out to do, but
Yep.
you know, also fair play to him for saying what he was thinking and what he was feeling. So I can appreciate that as well. You know?
All About Schmidt. What the fuck is that? Talking about
Yeah. Yeah. I
I've
mean,
never
I'm
seen that.
happy about it though.
Oh my god. Sorry, I'm reading the chat right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Dad said the worst movie ever was All About Schmidt. Nobody needs to see Kathy Bates in a hot tub. And if I remember correctly, as a kid, when I was in high school, he rented that movie and he returned it to Blockbuster with a note inside the movie under the CD that said, "Don't waste your time watching this movie. It's a piece of shit."
Oh, fucking! You are a legend, Pops.
How fucking petty.
Can I call you daddy now?
Because the fucking thing is, they're not going to see that till after they've already rented the movie and they're at home and like, oh shit, this is going to suck.
That's awesome.
Pop confirms. He said he did it.
Yeah.
So I just watched that video of that dude just talking shit about Pierce. I love it when people stand up like that because that's hard. He's not the famous one. Pierce Morgan is the famous one. And to stand up like that, and you were putting your job on the line at that point.
Well,
and now then,
sorry, go on, Rob.
No, and now people are just like, yeah, good job, dude. Fucking right.
Well, the thing is, that guy, like, he even said they've had a good friendship, and you know, he's asked him advice and stuff before about his career and shit. They've always had differences of opinion, and the guy, it sounds to me like the guy was just being himself.
Yep.
To his friend, but his friend didn't want to roll with that. You know what I'm saying?
But his friend turned into a little, you know,
sissy.
Oh,
sissy.
Yep, we can go with that one.
Sissy.
But yeah,
that's a good word.
It was
nice way to put it.
And props to the TV network as well for rolling it and letting it all play out.
Oh, they were doing that for the views. They on that day they had the most views they've ever had. So
don't probably like, no, get on the fucking show, get on it and watch this guy going.
This is what we need to be seeing on TV, though. We need to be seeing on TV people having actual, like, sort of
discussions,
arguments.
When they do it for not the views anymore, and they do it for the right of the people, then I'd understand and
but
say,
you see how he reacted?
That.
You see how he reacted is the typical way that some soft motherfucker like that reacts who doesn't have a firm grasp on the shit that they're talking is they get up and they walk the fuck out. If you don't 100%. Truly believe in what you're saying and you don't have the capacity to fucking argue your point, then maybe don't make the point until you know more about what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's why everything we say on here is opinionated. And if someone in the chat gives us a fact or something that we, you know, we're open to having our minds changed. I'm not going to say, oh, fuck you. I'm out. I'm walking out.
I think it also shows a level of, like, I think to have a
maturity,
to have a decent discussion, you need to have a level of emotional intelligence that's beyond beyond the average. Because getting angry and fucking off and walking off and going, this is bullshit, I ain't down with this, I'm out, I think shows a lack of control over your emotions. And being
all right, I feel personally attacked.
Jake has a fucking tendency to get the fuck up and leave class.
Yeah, but that's but isn't that over someone who is like who is annoying as fuck and someone that you know that find you? It
doesn't matter.
But if
it doesn't matter,
I call bullshit because I've had conversations with Jake that we don't agree on many times, and he never just goes, nah, I'm fucking out of this call, I'm done, and leaves. We sit and we hash it out and we talk about it.
No, I don't think I would do that with either one of you guys. However, if I'm sitting in the classroom and I'm arguing with a teacher, I don't want to call her out and, you know, use words that I wouldn't usually use, you know, those words that you're not supposed to use in a classroom environment. Yeah. That's when I have to get up and I walk away because Steve, I will straight the fuck up. Yeah.
I think that I don't mean to sound fucking holier than thou on this. I think that my opinion on that is that their opinion matters to me way less than your guys' opinion. So I will walk out less from that than I would from something in here. You know what I mean? Just because I'm like, I don't give a fuck, honestly, what anyone in that classroom is doing or saying or whatever. Maybe that's just me. I mean, you get offended because you want to learn and you're using your GI Bill and things like that. And then you kind of get mad that way.
And then I got someone telling a story that takes 45 minutes of my learning time.
And then you have me spewing on top of that to keep it going, and then that pisses you off even more.
I'm just kind of fueling the fire.
Yeah,
Rob's fueling the fire. Okay, listen, I'm not fueling the fire. That's Rob. I'm just enjoying myself in a conversation, and Jake wants me to shut the fuck up, and I just can't.
Taking pictures of people. I'm taking pictures of people mid-class making memes out of them.
Yeah.
Like Jake was pissed off one day because someone was telling a story and he couldn't take it anymore, so he put his fucking hands in his ears and he was like,
No. That was the song, bro. That was the fucking song she wanted to blare 30 fucking volumes too loud.
And I took pictures of him. I was taking pictures and making memes of him and shit.
Oh man,
you guys are basically the fire triangle.
Yeah. When Rob actually pays attention.
Oh, fucking turns up.
Pending the P1 exam, I think.
Hey, you know what? You are very good at cram sessions. I will give you that. But when it comes to sitting in the classroom,
that's what his wife says.
You can't do it. But it's okay because you got your boys to your left and your right to help you out.
That's exactly true. It's right. It's like foreplay, man. I'm not for it, man. Just cram it in, done, boom,
out. You got me over here, Captain Distracto, whilst you motherfuckers are trying to study or do. I remember that time when I think Rob, you streamed in Discord.
Yeah, I wasn't muted.
One of your lessons.
Yeah, we kept muting everybody.
Oh, yeah. So I finally told Chad that we were doing that.
Really?
And Josh, that it was us.
Once we found out that we were capable of muting people in our school class online, we were muting people left and right, and the teacher had to like reset the class. And I was like, "We're all adults in our 30s with families, and we're muting people." And then the best part was, and get this, so I have the thing where I can actually sample like my voice. So pull like my voice, pull like my voice, pull like my voice. So I can do that. So the teacher, anytime she would talk, I would sample something of her saying like, "Hey Jesse," or "Hey Josh," or something like that. I would say, "Oh shit, she's probably in here." Oh, so I would sample her voice, and then she'd be like, "All right, start working," and then like maybe like 5 minutes would go by, as super silent in class, and I'd be like, "Hey Jesse," and it would be the teacher's voice, and he'd be like, "Yeah." And she'd be like, "Huh? It was great. Yeah? It was amazing." And it'd be just a whole conversation. Like, "I thought you said my name. I didn't say your name."
Wait, grown men like us.
We never did that to Frau Beats.
No, we didn't.
We never did it.
I did it for
Did you? Okay.
Well, I'm sorry, Frau Beats. But when they give us enough rope to hang ourselves, our maturity goes right out the window.
Oh,
no fucks. It's like throw it out the window, and here we go.
So
I think in the beginning, one more story. In the beginning of it all, we were actually able to kick people out of the class, and we were kicking each other out of the class and shit like that. We had a good old time. I think it was the first week until it was fixed. Man, yeah.
Hey Jake, show you off your arm.
Oh yeah, the cast is off.
No
and
cast.
It's tight. Yeah. So
what's that on your wrist?
What?
What's that on your wrist?
Oh, that's 2.5, baby. 25. Got one right there too. 25.
I guess I just haven't seen your other hand in a while. I feel like
it's been 6 weeks.
It's just been a blue Smurf in my crotch.
Oh, man. And I've missed seeing this one. This one's my favorite.
Has it faded or anything? Or
no. Well, so I think no, but I still got some dead skin I need to shave off. It's really hard to get this shit off.
It was disgusting, by the way.
It was disgusting. I have a picture of it, and I'll send it in Discord.
It was fucking disgusting.
I think I had a cast on. I fucking shattered my wrist playing basketball. As I was running, bouncing the ball, someone took my legs from underneath me, and I landed on the ground like that. That was my first point of contact with the ground, and my whole from here down was basically like jelly. It was there was nothing
as usual.
It was pretty horrific. But I think I had
you are fragile.
I had a cast on for like 8 weeks, and then I went back. They took it off, and he took the cast off, and my arm just went back to having no bone in it. It just went, and was like, you see how my hand's hanging down there? That's how my arm was hanging down from the elbow.
Was it like Harry Potter's arm in that fucking in one of his movies?
Exactly. Like, when that guy's like, "Don't worry, I'll fix it." Does the spell
with the accent and everything?
Yeah. So I had it on for another 2 months after, and it got itchy. Shit. It got itchy to the point where my dad made me an itching tool. He basically went into the garage and got some, the tie wraps, the plastic cuff things.
Yeah.
Well, they're called plastic cuffs to us, but they're actually cable ties.
We call them zip ties.
Zip ties.
It turns out you can use them for actual things or for kidnapping
Sodomy.
Sodomy.
S&M. Maybe not specifically sodomy, but I just say what I know. What I know.
Catholic Church has the highest shares in zip ties. Sorry. It's comedy.
This could be the one.
That could be the one. Let's get it.
We might not see you next week. Yeah. So I used that to itch, and it was horrific, man. It smelt so bad. Every time I put it down there, it'd like break the seal on the cast, and you'd just get this warm whiff of sweaty arm for like months.
It was gross, but be honest, it kind of smelled good at the same time.
It's one of them smells where you smell it and then you go,
yeah.
Oh.
It's so true, though. So true.
Oh my God, you guys remember that? Dan, you probably never seen the commercial ever, but you guys remember the stinky finger commercial where the dude's like,
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was old, bro. Oh man, goddamn. Fuck.
Probably
a lot of the old heads in here will know exactly what I'm talking about.
Hang on, let me see if I can find it. There is lots of clips and video footage. I think it's of the German football manager sitting at the side of the pitch during like the World Cup, scratching his arsehole and then
They caught him doing all kinds of shit on live TV.
Yeah. Like itching his balls, and then he was like having a right good sniff.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, I remember.
Sometimes you gotta sniff your batter, man. Come on.
Yeah, the front batter, not the back batter.
Sometimes you gotta taste it.
Better.
That's fucking raunchy. You guys are fucking gross.
Are you trying to say what's better or what's better?
Which one's better?
If you had a choice, if you had to choose, if it was a life and death situation, and the man had the gun to your head and he went front or back batter?
Front batter. Obviously, front batter.
I smell from under before I smell booty. That's just not.
When I fart, it's not terrible. You know what I mean? I've never really smelt the front before, so I don't know.
Josh, I don't even know if I can
smell, bro.
How many of you grab your shit and then go, all of you or something?
I have a sniff.
Exactly.
Yeah. At least once or twice a day.
You guys will find out when I come over in June. Like
I won't.
My farts can. Sometimes I've farted like in like a queue somewhere, and then I'll turn around and I'll be like, is the person behind me having a fucking stroke or something? Their face is like lopsided and eyebrows are falling off.
My brother does that shit when we're at the bar, and he'll be like, we'll be like, we need a place the bar is full and we can't walk up to get drinks. He'll be like, if he's got a shit because his farts are fucking hard, he'll go up into the group of like the hottest chicks you've ever seen and shit all over them. And then they'll be like, what is that? And he's like, and they'll just walk off. And he's like, all right, let's go. It's fucking raunchy, but it works 60% of the time.
Every time.
That's amazing.
It's good. It's good stuff. It works. Yeah. All right, should we get into some of our topics for tonight now that we've done some chatting?
Some bullshit. Yeah, let's do it.
Some lively banter.
Who's going first?
I think I could go first.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think I'll go first. I want to get this out of the way here.
All right, so we do a reverse rotation then. Rob, me, Josh, Dan.
Yeah.
Since we did that, we'll go.
Before we get into this, though, I'd like to take a second to applaud Bad Golfer 1018 on his ability to not only at the age of 60 or whatever he is.
Hold on, you don't know how old your dad is?
I don't know how my dad is.
I think he was born in 64. Were you born in 64, Padre?
If he's
maybe he's 58. I don't know.
I mean, that's quite a discrepancy, but yeah, that's fine.
It's 2 years.
59.
There 59.
Wait,
we know your dad's
58 and 64 isn't 2 years.
I didn't say 64. I said he was born in 64.
Born in 61.
Oh, okay. I was like,
but I don't know if that's true either. But I think it is. But I don't know.
Don't go into account
61. Fuck.
Oh, he's 59, born in 61.
Wow. Can you adopt me, please?
Let's take a skull for the old man for making a Twitch account and coming in here. Now, if you haven't hit the, there you go, bud. If you haven't hit the little heart button, Dad, underneath the image, go ahead and do that. So that way you're following us.
And the donate tab down. No, I'm kidding. There isn't. It's not down there. Nah, we haven't got it in.
We don't have a donate button, but
I'll send you my donation link later.
Appreciate we'll send you our PayPal details.
All right. So my first rant tonight, we're going to talk about something that's happening in apparently it's being discussed in the UK as a possibility to happen, and that is due to the coronavirus situation. They want to talk about making the days longer and the holidays shorter for the children from September on. And you know, this question comes from Hendo, aka
the wife.
Dan's wife. Yeah.
So she's a teacher, primary school teacher.
Yeah, it says, will it cause more damage to our future generation, and what effect will this have on people working in the education sector? So now I think with my point of view on this, and I haven't really thought too crazy about it, but I think that they shouldn't do it, and I think that it shouldn't be adopted, only because we don't know how long this shit's gonna last. What happens if they elongate it and then they gotta fucking close down again? And it's everything is so up in the air right now. To make a decision like that at this point is kind of irresponsible. And then I feel like, if anything, vacation and holidays are just as important to children as, maybe not just as important, but very important also as education, especially. Well, it depends on what education you're getting. Okay, I mean, Mia can take a couple breaks from coloring shit at the fucking school, and we can take some responsibility as parents up to a certain grade in teaching our own children things that we don't need a teacher to teach them. So I don't need her there for longer days. Granted, if she wants to stay at school longer, that's awesome. I get more free time. But at the same time, we want to take holidays too. The kids need a break too. They need to have a little bit of rest and relaxation, and to just say, hey, all right, we're going back to school. You're going to go for fucking longer days. All that's going to do is take these kids who haven't been in school, aren't really ready to go back to school, or whatever, aren't used to being in school, and then jamming them there all day. They're going to fucking be miserable. They're not going to learn shit. How about you let them relax, because they're going through this corona shit too. This is a stressful time. Everybody's been cooped up in their fucking house. They don't want to be cooped up in school now. All right. So I think, in my opinion, let them have their fucking vacation. Let this and last year be just a fucking, sorry, forget about these 2 years. That just kind of was shitty. Go live your life, go have a good time, and then you can come back to school later.
Well, for me, it's like our kids, my kid, he's 10 years old, and I remember how old he is, but anyway, no, it's like he has to go to first grade over and over again. And I remember the first time dropping him off at school for his very first real day of education from a school. It was hard, and he has to repeat that over and over again every like 6-7 months now. And it's very stressful for him, because he's a little weird anyway. He's an amazing kid, but it's hard. It really is, and especially for the parents too.
That might actually be the reason why my wife and I have chosen, because Abel's 5 right now. So in September, he's supposed to start grade 1. And we have actually decided not to put him in school next year, just to give him some more time for not only the kindergarten, quote unquote kindergarten, because they're trash, but not only to help him develop, but so that we can also make sure that he is precisely at the level that he needs to be in order to have the fucking the attention span to be able to know, hey, when a teacher tells you to stop, do your work, you need to stop and do your work. Stuff like that. So we've actually decided not to put him into school in September.
Well,
because of that.
Let me put in, because it'll affect sort of my family from sort of 2 different angles here. So my wife, who's a primary school teacher, she's going to have to work longer hours. To touch on that, she isn't fucking paid enough money for that at all.
Oh, yeah.
So, because they're salaried, right? So, she's not paid enough money for that. Teachers in this fucking country aren't paid enough money at all.
I don't think teachers are paid anywhere enough.
No.
Yeah, well, I agree. Yeah. But then also, I look at it this way: is that the kids being out of school has had a profound effect on their development, I think, as a human, because school is really important Not just for education. There's a bigger thing that you learn from school, and that's the social ability.
Absolutely.
100%.
To be around other people, getting to know other people. It teaches you so many fucking social skills, right?
Yep.
But then I think some of it is also the fallout from the government saying so. For the past year, we've had to homeschool kids, and they've been like sort of like Zoom calls. But the way it's been done in my county is that the teacher will pre-record lessons and then upload them onto a shared space, and then the kid watches the lesson and does the work. Right?
Yep.
There's a lot of kids and a lot of parents in this country that haven't had their kids doing that. So I think it's the government sort of going, right, there's a significant a number of children that have missed out on their education for the past year at the fault of their parents. Now, I know I feel for these kids, but I'm going to say this, and this is going to be controversial as fuck. If your kid grows up dumb as shit with no fucking social skills whatsoever because of that year, that's fucking on you as a parent. That's not on your kids. That's not the fucking government's problem, and it's not anyone else's problem. That's fucking on you as a parent for being a shit parent. And I'm gonna say that, and it's probably a little bit controversial, but like so we made sure every single day our daughter did her work. She was sitting at that table with an iPad. She had everything she needed, and she did her work. And the school, her teacher sent us a chocolate bar with a little balloon tied to it, left on our doorstep, that said, thanks for keeping your kid in education. Basically, I appreciate that, and that's super sweet. It's fucking awesome. That shouldn't have to happen. Make sure your kids are getting educated, because this is their fucking future and the future of our country as well. Every single child could be the potential future of our country. And if you fucked that, that's on you as a piece of shit human.
Okay,
it makes me angry.
I'll scold for that.
Here's what I'm. In a minute, I will. But I get what you're saying, and I understand exactly what you're saying, and I think pretty much the exact same way. But on the other hand, you can't blame the kid for having social problems either, because the government is also putting restrictions on who we're seeing, how long we're seeing them, and that's not up to the parent. How is a parent supposed to teach another kid to play with another kid, like his daughter and my son? They love each other. Freaking well, my sons love his daughter. They
you fucking watch it.
Yeah, well, they're gonna marry each other one day.
But Mia doesn't know who your son is.
We're gonna become family anyway one day. Anyway,
no.
You can't put that on the parents though. When the government tells you can't go do this, you can't go do that, or you'll be fined.
I think it's
you can give them the stepping stones of saying, hey, this is how you're supposed to treat people. The golden rule: treat others the way you want to be treated. Right?
It is on the parent though, because
it's not though, because kids have to. If you were a kid, you never interacted with another kid besides 2 kids in your whole 5 years, right? Yeah. And you went back to school, and now there's 100, 200 kids. You have no idea how to act.
Yeah,
none.
And
so hold on. So I see where both of y'all are coming from. Abel, in my opinion, he acts different than other children. He is not the same as Mia, and he is definitely not the same as Arik, and Arik's younger than him. Arik, I feel, is a little bit more developed than Abel is.
I think he's more developed than my 10-year-old.
Absolutely. That boy is too mature for his age.
Really?
But so I feel like it should I'm with Dan on it, because it is up to us in order to teach our kids the certain social skills. Mm-hmm. I'm also with you, Josh, that they need other children to develop those social skills. But we as parents can also play with our children, interact with them much more than we are. And this is on me too. Much more than we are or have been. So it is very hard.
They're
I agree with it, because I don't have the fucking. I
love them so much, but they're so much.
I would take a fucking bullet for my kid.
Oh,
all right?
It'd be weird if you would.
Right? It really would be, right? I would literally take a fucking bullet to the face if I had to. But
what about to the balls?
Absolutely, because I don't want any more. I love my kids that much. I don't need any more.
Yeah, but I see you guys are getting with that, but at the same time, it's like you can only teach your kids so much about social.
No,
like, my parents taught me the golden rule, and that's basically all you. For me, all I need to teach my kids is treat others the way you want to be treated.
Yeah, Josh, and
as soon as they have to have a kid bully them, they have to. That's part of life.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying, but there's a lot of fucking families in. I can't talk for the rest of the world. There's a lot of fucking families in this country that their kid will ask them a question, they'll either fucking ignore them because they're scrolling through Facebook, they'll tell them to fuck off because they're busy, or they won't. I get it, if you're busy it can be frustrating and whatnot, but you should never pass up the opportunity to fucking educate your children. Whatever you're doing is not more important than that question that kid's asking. Even if it's fucking stupid. And I'm not saying I'm the perfect parent. My wife is the perfect parent. My wife takes care of most of that. It takes care of a lot of the stuff with the kids. If I'm sitting here working and I'm grinding into something and I am doing something, I'll always say, just give me a minute, and then I'll go and chat to them. But there's families and there's people out there that'll be like, oh, fuck off, I'm busy, go out and play or something, or, go and fucking do something, leave me alone. And I get, we've all done it, and we have all done it, and I'm not saying I'm not saying you're a piece of shit for doing it, I'm saying you're a piece of shit for doing it every single fucking time. Your kid needs something, or your kid wants to say something, because there's something more important for kids than having a question answered, and that's asking the question, because
it's them knowing that you are there to answer that question.
Yeah,
and not just you, because it could be other kids. Because I don't ask anybody for fucking shit. I literally only ask maybe you three for anything. I don't ask my brothers for anything. I don't ask my parents for anything. I don't ask my fucking in-laws for anything. You guys are the only ones that I ask. You know what I mean?
You've already went off track though.
Yeah, but if you constantly do that every time a kid asks a fucking question, all they learn is that they can't ask questions.
Yeah,
because kids learn.
Or they can't ask you a question.
Well, no, they can't ask questions in general, because we are the fountain and their source of their knowledge as well as education. But they look up to us to look after them and provide to them and teach them fucking life skills.
Yeah, and up until a certain age, and then
and if the person doing that, the
18.
or figureheads in their life,
14,
constantly fuck them off for asking questions, they won't go into later life asking questions. That's how I see it. I'm shouting about this here, so I need to.
You're good. You're good.
I agree with you on 90% of what you're saying, but 10% of it, like I'm saying, they have to have that interaction with other kids.
Yeah,
I do. Brothers and siblings, and that doesn't count. You have to have that, and that's what pisses me off about these schools. I mean,
closing and then opening and then closing.
So wrong. Yeah, it takes away from, especially a kid in like the 3rd grade. What is he seeing now? That's like a normality now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he can take that and at 35 remember this moment and think it's normality to keep doing that in his life. And next thing you know, his kids are living with the mom somewhere else, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'll just do this other one and then knock another one." And yeah. Anyway, I don't know. There's lots of things you could put into it.
What are you saying, Rob? You seem to be you got your thinking face.
I already said my piece, so I was just listening to you guys.
Yeah, he was letting us go.
I think you're all wrong. Fuck them kids. Moving on.
I am so glad. I'm so glad clips are disabled on this channel, because if that was taken out of context, there's motherfuckers moving to the Catholic Church.
You get off the Catholic Church. Leave them fuckers alone.
It's a joke. Relax.
Diddlers.
Relax.
The diddlers.
Yeah, if you get offended by that, you need to have a word with yourself.
For me?
Oh, hang on. So do you think some of what you're saying, Dan, is also because the parents aren't educated enough themselves to actually answer the questions? No. I grew up with my dad. My dad was in the army for quite a while, and then he did a lot of shift work when he came out of the army, and my mum was.
Thank you, Papa Dan, for your service.
Yep, thank you.
He would fucking slap the shit out of you for saying that,
and I would eat it.
and like my dad was always out of the house. He wasn't the guy that we approached more than anything. It was my mum that was the one that was there more than anything. But my mum was always busy as fuck because there was like at one point there were 6 of us in the house. Do you know what I mean? You know, we didn't have a TV, so they were always at it. But I don't know if you guys get that reference. I think that's a British one.
It might be. Can you explain a little bit?
If someone has a shitload of kids, it's because they don't have a television in the house.
Is it because they're always having sex? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, all right,
Jesus.
got it.
So
God, you got the reference. Fuck, I was still off.
So I didn't get much of an opportunity to ask them questions, and through teenage years, throughout like a lot of family issues, I didn't get them opportunities. But I learned from the case of, because I didn't, like it means I've got to provide that for my kids, because I learned from them issues or them problems. And you find with a lot of families that look after their kids in a questionable manner,
like not at all.
well, yeah, just letting them fucking roam the streets and fuck shit up. But like
bad golfer.
I find that you know, you should be looking, going, well, why am I the way I am, and why do I think like? You should internalize and question yourself, which you can't ask of fucking everyone, and not everyone's going to do, because again, it requires a certain level of emotional fucking intelligence. Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. My parents, I knew never to ask them any like super smart questions. If I had something about hunting, fishing, farming, or something like that, then it was easy question. But anything like, "Hey, how far is the moon away?" I knew they'd be like, "I don't fucking know. Go read the book.
Go measure it. Fuck off and measure it.
It's 3 light eyes.
I don't need to know that, Jake.
Okay. Hey, I can imagine Josh running back to the house and going, "Hey, Dad, the moon's this far away."
On a map.
And he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
What the fuck is that?
It's a tomahawk that I got from Shane.
No, but what I'm trying to put there is every parent.
That'd be cool if it was a joint.
That is pretty cool, though. That would be awesome. But what I'm trying to put there is every parent's different, and to put one system in place for every single parent's wrong.
Yeah,
I think.
So
you can't
okay,
ask a question.
So that's your take, Jake. What are you saying about making school days longer to cater for the gap in education?
I say no to that.
I say no.
I'm gonna say no too, because I feel like it'd be a little bit too much stress on both the child and the teacher, who is there to help the child develop further than we are able. Some of us are. Like, I can't do math, so I can do 1 + 1 = 3. I mean, 2. No, I'm just kidding. But besides the point.
So what I'm gonna do right now, right? So I'm gonna say this really close to the camera. Boris Johnson, sort your fucking government out and don't fucking ruin our children.
Yeah.
Ruin your own kids.
Yeah, ruin your own kids.
Yeah, Boris.
Yes. Yeah, Boris. God damn you.
Okay. Should we move
you got a problem, you can visit me at Dan's house. That's where I live right now.
Fucking come on over, dude. Let's go. I got 2 hungry dogs. I don't feed them just for fuckers like you. All right. I do feed my dogs.
God.
I do feed my dogs. I do.
Whoa, all right. We can't say that either on here. All right. So
I do feed my dogs. I love them. Where are they? They're not skinny. They're actually really fat. They're overfed.
Oh, now they're
now my dogs. Now fat shame my dogs. Piece of shit.
No, you shouldn't body shame.
Yeah.
Right, we want to move. Do we want to move on at that note?
What, body shaming? We could go to that one actually.
Oh,
no, absolutely. I mean, I'm no. Let's not, Josh. Put your t-shirt back down. I'm just kidding.
I'm fighting the fight.
I would like to show you a recording I made about 20 minutes ago. About an hour and 10 minutes ago.
Okay, Jake, it's on you, dude.
Yeah. So, I got. Do you think social media has too much reach / influence? And I think that depends on the person. Personally, because social media has no influence on me whatsoever. As far as reach, I'm not entirely sure I'm smart enough to understand what that means, but
I think
that was
let me elaborate.
Yeah.
It has too much reach / influence, like too many people see it and it changes the
As far as the influence, yes, I understand that, but the reach. All right, so we'll just move on with that. As far as the influence, no, I for me personally, no, they don't have too much influence because, well, no, all right, sometimes they could actually, I don't know, but for me, no, all right, but it's also a double-edged sword because, for example, the trends that have been going on. You know, we grew up with what was it, the fucking saltine cracker trend, and the cinnamon, the spoonful of cinnamon trend. Those were harmless, right? Those didn't hurt you or anything like that. You know, they were harmless. You didn't have to go to the hospital because you. And this is one of my examples: the Tide Pod trend. That was fucking dumb.
Oh,
aka
natural selection.
Yeah, survival of the fittest. Yeah, but no, yeah, I thought that was fucking dumb. Or you know what I mean? And
hang on, let me just put this guy in chat out of his fucking misery. Maths debater 34. Welcome. There you go. Happy now? Go on, crack on.
What he wants to hear is masturbator.
Oh,
you found your penis.
Yeah, we got a cool name in the chat.
We did it. Everybody, make sure we welcome Masturbator. Yay! Congratulations! Oh my God, you're amazing.
Tell me more.
Cancel culture. Get his ass
All right. Anyways, on the other hand, there is a good side to it. Me personally, I've learned a lot of shit through social media. Things that I didn't actually think about. Things I wouldn't have thought about myself. For example, depression, mental, stuff like that. I wouldn't have known that I was depressed if I wouldn't have looked it up. I was for a while there. Let's move on there. I'm not anymore. I love you.
I love you.
I love you too. Basically, if you're fucking dumb and you let it influence you like that, then that's what it is. Sorry, you shouldn't.
Yeah, I think I seen one of the guys put in there. It depends on age as well, because it depends on maturity, wisdom. Obviously, if you're older, you're yeah, exactly. You're looking at the news now, going, some things are wrong with that. It's my opinion that I think this is wrong, and then you move on. But some of these people, they see it and they fully take it. It's like, it's for example, like when you're 15, 16 years old, you find a girl or a guy, whichever one you prefer, I really don't care. But you find somebody you really like, you're like, oh my God.
No, I'm kidding. That was a joke.
No, like me, I watched that Romeo and Juliet film with Leonardo DiCaprio and what's her face, right?
Great film.
After that film, the very next day, I went back to school and I seen this girl there, and I was like, oh, I'm in love. And I started playing the movie through my head and stuff. You know what I mean? And so that movie did influence me in some way. And it reached me as well, because that very next day I went to school, and not on purpose, but through that movie made me find somebody that I was like, I love her so much. So maturity depends as well.
Can I just pick a problem with what you said there? Is that all right?
What? What's that?
I love you.
Right? No, you don't.
I do. But
no, you don't. You would shut up if you love me.
Yeah. Is that how you see love? Is that
wife, and what happened?
So,
Josh loves 15-year-olds.
No, when I was 15 as well. When I went back to school when I was 15.
So he saw a film that influenced him about a chick that he liked, right?
Yeah.
So, film is different, because film is an art form that is made in a certain way, not to influence but thought provoke.
Yeah, but it wasn't the first type of social media back in the day, though.
No,
if you think about it,
no,
it's how
is it social?
I mean, you could break it down to almost back in those days, those types of poems and stuff, and those types of acting and stuff like that was kind of like mainstream nowadays.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but it's not the same.
No, social media back then was like, dude, well, you're
MySpace.
Are you referring to the Romeo and Juliet time or the Leonardo DiCaprio movie time? What time are you referring to when you said back in those days?
Which one's better for me? Which one would you not like to argue about?
I mean, there wasn't. I don't think there was MySpace back in the Romeo and Juliet times with Leonardo DiCaprio. There was different types of social media as far as
MSN Messenger.
Maybe
AOL?
it was probably
AOL chat, Yahoo chat rooms, weirdest place ever.
AOL chat was a fucking cesspool.
Well, I wasn't trying to say
that's
is social media. I was saying when you get influenced by movies and stuff, you still get influenced by movies even to this date.
Well,
so
yeah,
how can you not get at least a little bit influenced by any social media, any news, anything like that? You are influenced a little bit by it.
Of course they're influential. I think they influence the entire world too goddamn much. Well, but that's not the fault of the fault comes into the news when they put out some bullshit. Retractions and things like that are not as important as they used to be. Back in the day, you used to put if you put a retraction out on a statement you said in the newspaper, your career as a journalist was fucking over. That was it. So if you said something false, you were done. Nowadays,
my understanding is that like film media has age ratings and stuff like that, not just because of the content that's in it, but that's also to determine whether it's fact, fiction, or whatever, like the logical state of the person that's watching it. That's I'm pretty sure that's how not PEGI ratings. What's the PEGI ratings for games, right? But for films, there's the similar thing for films. But for social media, you don't have that. For social media, you have like a minimum age of what? Let's take Facebook for example. Is what 12?
Is there an age?
14?
12. Ooh.
Let's say someone pull that up. The age limit for Top Whiskey Mug. Can you grab that? There is a minimum age requirement for Facebook.
I did not know that at
all.
all.
I was 15.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
15. What did I know when I was 15? I knew fuck all when I was 15. I know next to fuck all now, and I'm 32.
Yeah, I was about to say.
You know what I'm saying?
True. True.
I knew fucking what do you know? 13 years old. It's
13 years old. No way.
Fuck?
No.
That's horrific.
But then again, that also goes on the previous subject. It's up to the parents to teach the children how to
MSN messengers.
Yeah,
take that.
I agree.
Take that information.
But social media platforms and the businesses themselves have more fucking power than a parent nowadays.
Yes, 100%.
And with
look at all the movements going on.
And with that fucking responsibility
comes great power.
Yeah. you got Spider-Man that shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great power comes responsibility.
I mean, think about it. Back when we were growing up, right before we had social media, just think about if we had social media, all these problems coming out now would have probably come out then as well.
Oh, they definitely would have came out years before.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, our generation is basically the one that's starting this whole everything. So just imagine 15, 16 years ago, this already happening. It's just lucky we didn't have social media.
Yeah.
Well, our parents should be lucky.
I think it has too much reach and influence. The companies have far too much fucking power, and I'm going to touch on this later because I've got a good one for later on for my 5-minute rant. But without saying too much, they have too much fucking power, too much reach, and you got to be 13 to use it. Get the fuck out of here, man. 13
Is that
years
with parent permission?
No, that's 13 years old to make an account.
Oh, you don't even need.
See, my thing is,
social media platforms are swaying people's decisions in elections.
Yeah.
And you think 13 years old is fucking acceptable? That's diabolical, man. That's disgusting.
Yeah, I think they do have a lot of reach and possibly too much reach, but at what point you can't put a number on the reach they're allowed to have. You know what I mean? Like if they're big, it's because we make them big.
Yeah,
it's things like that. Maybe there are some things in place, and this goes back to parenting, where people need to understand that not everything you read online is true, and you can't react to something you read online, or some kids go kill themselves because of something they read online, and it's fucking horrible.
Or that like fucking video that
terrible.
went viral on fucking YouTube.
Thing.
FOMO, yeah, that's what it was.
Whose fault is it? I don't think that it's the social media giants' fault for making a company that so many people use. I think it's a personal issue, and if you're under the age to make reasonable decisions, I'm going to say 15, right? I think at 15 you should know right from fucking wrong and what you read online, blah blah blah. Under that, maybe your parents need to put have a little look over your shoulder and realize what you're doing online. But
yeah, 100%.
I don't blame the social media giants for making a company that makes billions and trillions or whatever billions of fucking dollars, because if I could do it, I would fucking do it.
Yeah, but
could you call it an
epidemic? Rob, you're mistaken.
You would have precautions to enable to stop that. Like if you were fucking the owner or you made goddamn YouTube, that Momo video wouldn't lasted fucking 5 seconds up.
No.
I know that for a fucking fact.
You're mistaken. Yeah. You're mistaken. Yourself for these fucking business tycoons, man. Like,
well, no,
like you said a key thing you said is that like we make this big, and we do. We make these platforms big. It's the people that use them that make the platforms, right?
Mm-hmm.
They fucking know this. That's why they bought it out. That's why it's a thing, because they know that people won't and can't get enough of that shit. In my job that I do, I spoke to some people that work at Facebook Labs, and that's the reason why I deleted all of my fucking social media. I have Twitter for my stream, and I have Whiskey Club Twitter, and that's fucking it. Because the thing they have a science department on Facebook. Have a science department on how to keep people scrolling. And
but should they not?
No, should they? Fuck, that's manipulation of the human mind, using psychology against us to sell their product.
Of business.
No, it's not. No.
Yes.
The point of business is the sale of a product,
and how you can sell it at the highest possible level. I mean, you have to think there's a reason these people are fucking billionaires living like fucking kings.
Yeah, but
because they're doing this shit.
They know some people can be manipulated.
Don't tell
easily.
me you don't tell me you don't have a fucking form of morality, because I've known you enough.
I do
to know that you do.
But I think I do. But it's a personal responsibility to understand what you're doing, what you're getting yourself into. It's not. You can't just fucking if.
Do you not have a responsibility of knowing what you're getting people into, though, as well?
But what are they getting them into? They're not what are they doing?
People are getting hooked and changing their fucking lives because of what they see on social media.
Here's
changing
my
their political opinion, the way of their life, everything.
Here, hold on.
But there's freedom of speech. I mean, it's
hold on. Yeah, exactly. It's freedom of speech, but what makes it hard to stop it is because it's free.
So you should have to pay for it.
Free. I think,
but nobody would do it if you had to pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. But that makes it an adult area instead of kids having their minds changed because some idiot from.
But everyone's free to change their own mind based off of what they read. I can go to the library and read two different books about two completely different subjects. I can read Mein Kampf about fucking Hitler's goddamn struggling at the same fucking time I can read, whatever the fuck, some shit by Mother Teresa. You know what I mean? And they're two very separate fucking books. Okay, so we cancel libraries now because they're providing that?
No,
hold on. Would you let Mia read Mein Kampf right now?
No, but that's my decision. As a parent.
So that's what I'm saying. So make it a paid source. So
Facebook's not peddling fucking Mein Kampf to my fucking 6-year-old daughter.
No, they aren't. But
it can.
People are killing people on Facebook Live. They are putting up propaganda. They are putting up bullshit about this culture, that culture, and this and that, about snowflakes and chads and
both sides. Both sides are doing it, and that's why I don't have a problem with it. Because both sides are doing it, and it's up to the individual to make the decision.
Hold on. Wait. When did two wrongs make a right, Rob?
Yes, but I'm just saying, when it comes to freedom of speech, at what point are we allowed to say, no, you're not allowed to say that? Where do we draw the line? That's the issue. The line is too blurry to say that you cannot and you can or you cannot say it. It's not
I'm not
possible.
saying
that.
I never said that.
I
make it costs money so that the parent has to be involved in it.
What Rob is
That is
saying
stupid
about
as shit because these businessmen are not going to do it.
yeah,
Who gives a fuck if they want to do it or not?
It's their company, Josh.
It's still brainwashing your
It's not
children.
your fucking company.
yeah, but
And
Rob,
it's brainwashing
what you've
adults.
got to understand is that, like, I get it's their company, but they have too much influence. They have too much influence over the general population of the world. They have
It's an epidemic.
It's a social media company. The influence comes from the users.
Yes,
I'm gonna call it. So,
but the users, not just the users, but the people that run the platforms have a responsibility. If the responsibility to their users was 20,000 people, then okay, 20,000 people is not that groundbreaking. But what are the numbers on Facebook? How many? Let's have, before I bring this up, I wanna how many Facebook?
I'm calling it a social
users
media epidemic.
are there?
So my question is then, what
Right. So
what are they doing wrong?
2.7 billion people have Facebook accounts. Right.
Okay.
And I'm not targeting Facebook. I'm using Facebook as a benchmark for social media in general. Right. 2.7 people. The people that run Facebook have a duty of care when it comes to that many people and that much influence and that many consumers of their product. They have a duty of care to make sure that the content that's on there and the users that are on there are safe and not people of morale, but are safe users, and that the information that they're posting is safe for consumption. Because if you think about it with social media, yeah, we make the product. Like, we make the product what it is, right? That's half of it. The other half of that product we create. And it's down, in my opinion, it's down to the platforms to make sure that it is a safe area. And I don't mean a safe area as in you might get upset, you might get triggered or whatever. But for an example, like Jake was using the Momo thing and propaganda and stuff like that, we've already seen conspiracies, which I sort of may or may not agree on. I'm undecided yet. That certain countries in the world are using social media to change opinions and change elections and change votes and stuff like that. For me, like them, there's a duty of care to them. Then platforms have a duty of care to the users to make sure that the content they're seeing is fair and equal, almost like an equality of information.
Okay, so let me go on this before I forget my point here with what you're saying. Like, I 100% agree. Okay, that with the morbid things, people dying, things that don't need to be seen, things like that, pornography, fucking shit like that on a social media website is not okay. They do have those things in place. I'm assuming they take care of them as fast as they possibly can, right? I'm hoping they do. But when it comes to propaganda, that's where I get a little bit iffy on that, because unless it's blatant, it's very hard to determine what you can consider propaganda versus what you consider against your personal beliefs. I may think this is propaganda, but to someone else, that's not propaganda. A Muslim person may think that a story about Jesus or a story about Christianity or something like that, and this is not to say anything about it, it can go both ways, or a Christian person can think something like that. Is propaganda, even though it's not. Or a Christian person can think something about, Allah or Muhammad is propaganda when it's not. It's a personal opinion, and there should be limits in place as far as what's right and wrong. Okay, no pornography, no fucking morbid
Violence
things, no death, no things like that. No fucking crazy shit like that. Yeah, but then when it comes to your opinion or your beliefs, if your opinion or your belief is skewed based off something you read without checking the facts, I don't think that is the fault of the
a 13-year-old kid doesn't check facts.
The facts
what does a
cited.
13-year-old kid what decision can a 13-year-old child make, Josh, that affects
nothing yet? Exactly. So then it doesn't matter if they go to school. It doesn't matter if they socialize then, right? Because
No,
they
I'm
don't,
saying
they can't make choices right now. They can make choices when they're 18.
But
so
it shapes.
hold them.
it doesn't.
When
I
they're
don't give
18
a
and
fuck
then
if they
release them into the
socialize.
world.
If it's not
Exactly,
my
but
child, I
you're
don't
putting
give a
them-
shit what you do with your
you're
kid.
you're putting them in the most toxic environment ever created by us. And
The
that's
Facebook
the online community. It's the most toxic because you have keyboard warriors. You have 12-year-old kids that are on there saying, "Oh, fuck you, old man. You're a
That's
piece
on the
of
parent.
shit."
That's
But
on the parent.
Yeah, but let's look at.
but those kids will not say that in front of their parents because they know better. But they'll say it online because they can and get away with it because
Yeah,
there's
it
nothing
gives
to
them.
stop them. It's the same fucking thing.
So
Well,
what
okay,
age is the cutoff for you, Josh?
No, let's go on, Josh.
Well,
What age?
for me, it's maturity of your child. If you consent to
So
your
it's on
child,
the parent.
well, yes,
Exactly
and
what
no.
I said from the beginning. It's on the
Hey,
parent.
This,
18.
but with Facebook, Twitter, and all this,
I agree with 18 as well.
I believe that it should be at least a 99-cent fee to have an account each month.
That's
That way
in
there's
a
a
business point of view.
responsibility.
That's fucking stupid. That wouldn't make any
No,
sense.
I want to give a fuck about responsibility of them because it's their responsibility to make sure that the right things
Let
happen.
me point
right.
something out. Let me point something out. Something that I was trying to bring up.
That's
before.
why Playboy isn't free,
that Top Whiskey Mod just brought up.
and it's good for them.
Is that it's not just 13 years old. I know plenty of adults that read and share stuff on Facebook and Twitter accounts without checking. And yeah, that is true.
Which we'd love to have any
But
Playboy.
And they're
That's
allowed
why-
to do that.
Yeah, and they're
They're allowed to be stupid.
Right. Okay. Let me something that changed.
Come on, John.
Something that almost changed.
Great comics.
Something that almost changed, like the opinion in this country in terms of immigration and Islam, and that's you look at the EDL, the English Defence League, or some fucking bullshit. Absolute, my opinion. This is my opinion. You fucking scumbags, get a grip. Fuck off. But they're a hard right wing, almost Nazi bunch of fucking yobs. Like football hooligans that want to go out and scrap and gather in streets and have problems with people that are of other cultures and have other skin colours. There's no place for people like that in the world. I think we can all agree on that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
right, okay. So
Fuck
say
that.
so that being said, the reason why the EDL had such a big movement that they did is they were using Facebook and using Facebook groups and using social media groups to plan their fucking marches, which were basically just going out into town in droves and droves of fucking hundreds of you and beating up anyone who looked remotely foreign. And that happened for a very long. I witnessed it in the city I used to live in Stoke-on-Trent. I remember my wife calling me once saying, "We're trapped in a fucking coffee shop. There's hundreds and hundreds of guys outside in the high street with fucking balaclavas on, in tracksuits, all chanting EDL. They're smashing stuff up. They're smashing windows. They're making all group racist slurs. Hundreds of people shouting racist slurs. Like that was." That wouldn't have had the fucking traction it had if it wasn't down to social media. Because
This is gonna go against everything I've ever fucking thought of. Hindo in the UK, are you guys allowed to have weapons?
No.
No firearms at all.
Nope. Unless you've got a shotgun license, you can have one, but it's not easy to get a license, and there's got to be reasons for you.
And so I 100% agree. I don't like weapons. I don't like guns and shit like that. But keep going with what you're going, brother. I didn't want to stop you. I just had a question.
So social media played a massive part. There was a guy called Tommy Robinson who had a loose affiliation with the EDL, who was later on jailed for exposing paedophiles, but what he was doing was he was exposing sensitive court information of the arrest of paedophiles, which is against the law, right? Because it can fuck with the court proceedings and the outcome of justice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So he's arrested for that. People love him. I've got a couple of friends who think he's like the Lord and Savior of this land. He's a fucking idiot. This guy, his rise to fame, and he got big and he amassed a lot of followers and he rallied, sort of united the people of the fucking UK, apparently, against anyone who wasn't fucking English, basically, because it's called the English Defence League, right? So that speaks for itself because of social media. His whole influence was based around that. If we didn't have that platform there for him to spout his shite on, what would he be? He'd just be another fucking guy standing in a pub who's racist.
We can't halt innovation because there are some bad apples out there. The only thing you can do is keep an eye on what's going on and stop them. But to blame the fucking social media as a whole, I think it's done nothing but bring the nation and the world up into the future with social media, connecting the world as has never been connected before. And that includes the shitbags and the people like that should be filtered out and should be taken care of.
But
so who is it up to filter them out? Who is it to filter them out?
It is
the
that
platform.
Like I said, is up to the social media company to fill out people that are doing or to
But they're not. But they're not doing it.
And I don't think it's brought any country closer.
Brought back toilet break.
In any way, I think it's separate.
Yeah, but they're not. They're not holding those people accountable. They're not fucking doing anything to stop that shit.
In that case, then yes, it needs to be taken care of. As far as, but it's hard to say.
It is. I agree with that.
Because they did shut down a lot of the shit Trump said, and he did say some stupid shit, but they shut him down a lot. They shut down a lot of Republicans. They shut down. I can't think of a single liberal that was shut down. And if you don't see a fucking bias in that, you're blind. You have to be fucking blind.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's where I think they have too much power as that. But to say that social media is a bad thing with the way that you have people allowed to be free and say what they want on it is stupid, in my opinion. I think that it should be regulated a little bit more fairly, evenly, and just kind of like a broad stroke. Like, this is allowed, this isn't allowed. Fucking that is it. Boom, done.
So basically,
you're done.
Basically, like our show.
We have standards and rules, and you know,
exactly.
But
that we have to abide by, or we get the consequences.
Exactly.
Or we get fucking the
ban. All of these companies have that. Now, whether or not they implement it properly is a different topic than what we're discussing. Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, let's look at Josh's example of having these people are not, they're not going to make the shit 99 cents when they can make it free. They make more than this 99 cents.
Well, they make it 1 penny. 1 penny a month.
I understand what he's saying. So because the children do not have, the kids that are being influenced like this do not have the capability to pay for that. They have to go to their parents and ask them, hey, dad, grandma, cousin, uncle, whoever the fuck is taking care of them, their guardians, pay for this so that I can do this.
I understand
100%. I'm gonna tell Abel, fuck no, I'm not paying for that. You don't even need it.
Right. I'm telling you right now, what your solution, Josh, is putting an unrealistic Band-Aid on a cut. All right. It's like putting a fucking cotton Band-Aid on something, because it just doesn't, it's not gonna work. It doesn't make sense. Not for the company. It's like, think realistically. No one's ever gonna do that. So we should think about things that are actually possible.
I'd pay 5 cents a month.
What?
It's not about what you would pay, it's about the majority of people.
I'm pretty sure the majority would pay 1 cent. If Facebook right now, how many people did it say? 192 million.
Do you think they'll do that?
Let's go with Twitter, because I see it immediately. 192 million Twitter users. Right. So you're going to take out 60 of them at 1 penny each for a month, every month, for the rest of however long they're on your media.
It doesn't matter how much you think it would work and how it does make sense, because it would probably work. I see what you're saying, and I agree that it would work. But is it an actual solution that will happen? No. So why even talk about it when you have to come to a middle ground with these people that are making this money and come up with actual solutions that make sense? Like,
well, technically they have solutions,
better algorithms.
They have
to find these issues.
Yeah, but they have these things already. They just don't implement them because it gets them media, it gets them PR, it gets them fucking everything that they need.
They get.
I mean, shit. I went to a website the other day, and I clicked on a link. Right, boom. Just it's its own thing. It says, "Oh, go to this link to go to the next article." I open that link. Guess what pops up? Some fucking porn thing telling me about some cartoon shit. And I'm like,
stop clicking sketchy fucking links, Josh.
Stop watching fucking hentai, Josh.
It was literally news. I wish I could find it again.
I don't ever get porn pop-ups. I'm on.
I don't get porn pop-ups either. Josh, do you watch porn on your computer?
No.
Oh my god, you're gross.
Okay. I mean, that's what we have phones for.
No.
And iPads and tablets or whatever.
TV for.
All right. Well,
But
yeah, there's that
that's-
too.
But the thing is like, yeah, it popped me into a porn site. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how are you gonna pop me from news article about Megan and what's his face into porn?
Yeah, Hendo's right. You need to clear them cookies, Josh.
Clear them cookies, Josh.
Clear your fucking
Hold
cookies,
on, Josh.
bud.
Are you
Use-
fucking lying to me?
use
Joshua,
op-
are you lying to me?
100% not. 100%
Use Opera GX,
I've
dude.
never watched porn on my computer ever, not once.
Okay.
That's why I bought a computer.
Okay. That's why I bought a computer.
I've
I'm
got a
using
lap-
my fucking phone. My
I've got a-
computer is used for Twitch, Discord, and my video games.
That's what my iPad's used for is the porn. I mean, it's the
Is that
easiest thing to have laying down next to me.
I just feel like my last point on this is that while
Porn.
your idea, in theory, it would work as far as getting rid of a lot of things, right? It would cost that company a shit ton more money. They make so much more than what you're saying on ad revenue and clicks and things like that. But you have to think about realistic solutions, not solutions that you say, okay, it would work. Like that's like saying, you know what, guns are bad. Let's make all guns cost $1 million. Like, yeah, that would fucking work. There probably wouldn't be any more fucking guns like that, but is
be
it
a
a good
lot-
idea? No,
there'd
it's
be-
fucking stupid.
There'd be a lot. There'd be a lot of millionaires in the US that have guns that want to sell them.
Dude, you can't compare guns and an influence of the mind, especially a young mind.
I'm not talking about the guns and difference and with guns and things. I'm just talking about putting a price on something.
Yeah, well, I mean, put something else up there because I mean, you can't. There's no comparison between guns and fucking influencing a young mind. It's totally.
You're taking it out of context with what I'm saying. I'm talking about the.
Oh, this car.
Yeah, but what you're doing is you're taking
drive these fast cars anymore, so they drive the slow pieces of shit. I get it.
Okay. Okay. Agree to disagree.
I agree to disagree.
I think your idea is stupid.
I think your fucking idea is stupid.
I didn't have an idea.
I think you boys.
Yeah, you said that.
I think you're both are fucking stupid.
Whoa! Right.
Besides, put
You
in
boys-
some type of placements to stop it. Those are your ideas.
Okay.
Algorithms, yeah, to figure out.
Right.
Okay.
Well, so, I don't have an
Hang
idea,
on,
but now he
hang on.
does.
No, don't interrupt the
He is a
argument.
part of-
No,
He is a
this-
part of social media.
This is an argument. It's
CNN.
meant to be having, we're meant to be having. We're meant to be having a fucking discussion. Come on, be men. Social emotional intelligence.
You
I'm
shut
not
the
mad.
and you let them go.
Yeah,
Get
get out of here.
It's not going to get anywhere. It's just going to go in circles.
Listen, look.
I would like to say though that Kavivi said bought a 39er for VR porn. I fucking laughed my ass off for that. Me and Jake. That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
But
That was
there's a prime example. How two dudes who fucking know each other very well can have contrasting opinions, and it's fine. It's all right.
I still
Yeah,
love
I'm
Josh
saying.
very much, even though his
Yeah,
idea
I
is
still love
fucking dumb.
Rob. He's fucking stupid for his
Tom's as
ideas.
smart as fucking
Absolute
GPS fucking things in the road.
Oh my god, you
Oh, let me regulate more things, and
So-
then it'll work out somehow
what we
again. Because
What
it's
we-
worked out in the past.
What's the conclusion? I'm saying yes. It has too much reach and
100%.
too much reach
Nope.
and what was the an influence? I think it has too much reach and influence.
I don't think it has too much reach. I think it has too much influence.
I don't think it's fair to put a limit on reach and influence of a
I
social.
I am going to change my answer from a no to yes in light of discussions.
You're on my side.
I
Just
love
want to
you,
say one
Jake.
thing before we finish.
I
and
love
know
you
what?
even more.
I
now.
just want this to be known. I love Rob more than Josh. But Rob, I'm not with you on this, brother.
Good.
Shots fired.
Yeah, it is. Okay. That's fine. Even though me and Rob had more friends walks than you.
Yeah, I
you what
know.
We-
I know. That's because I was.
It was the
That's because I
most-
was. That's because I was depressed and
the
didn't reach
most
out.
Super straight thing I've ever heard.
Don't get dark, you fucking asshole.
I just,
You reach out next time.
I just want to say, that if we want to spend billions and billions and billions of research and fucking thousands and millions of hours of time on protecting us against fucking health problems and viruses, why can't we do that on fucking protecting our people's minds? And that's it. That's what I'm going to say.
What the mind is the most important thing. Okay, on to the next thing.
Not Josh's.
It is the most important thing because we need to develop that so his kids don't turn out like it.
Exactly. You need to develop the shit out of that, please. If you could make a drug to develop it real fast, that'd be great. I need it for
There
my-
is one. It's powder form.
Well, I don't know if that's safe for kids though. I mean, you'd probably have
I don't know. Maybe if we charge a fucking penny for it, it'll be all right, huh, Josh?
You'd probably say they can do it as long as it's regulated.
If we sell it for a penny, we'll be okay.
Okay, so who we got next? We got Josh. Josh, it's on you next, right?
We do not condone doing drugs.
No, not at all.
I hate them.
So mine is: how do you feel about countries still holding distant colonial territories without the same rights as their main national borders, like Puerto Rico and Gibraltar?
UK, US and Puerto Rico.
I'm so glad you fixed that.
Anyway, Gibraltar, is not Gibraltar. I mean, in Puerto Rico, they spend, but they have the U.S. dollar. They got U.S. money, right?
I don't fucking know. Puerto Rican yen?
No. They spend the American U.S. dollar, like what we would have in the U.S. of A. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Mod, can you check that before I'm totally uncorrected here and get fucked over by Rob and he laughs at me forever about it?
What are you talking about? I don't know shit about Puerto Rico, bro.
No, but I think
Puerto Rico spends the U.S. dollar.
Yeah, but why? I don't know.
It's a U.S. territory, isn't it?
Yes, it's U.S. territory, and they spend the U.S. dollars, but they don't have all the same rights as we do. That's a weird thing, man.
Well, I mean, the currency doesn't justify the rights. I feel like, but the question is, like, should they have the same rights?
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, do we own them?
We own the territory.
You own the territory, not the people.
We own the territory. We own an island. I'm not really sure.
Texas.
No, we actually don't govern them.
Hang on. I think what we need. Texas. What we need to do. So the person that asked this fucking question, I know he's very good at.
I just wanted to say this, but Daddy Cox is still in chat.
Thank you, Daddy Cox, for that answer.
He's a bit of an educated man compared to us fucking simple knuckle draggers, right? So I can speak for all of us on that. I'm pretty sure we're all fucking idiots.
Yeah, you're a fucking knuckle dragger, Rob. Shut up.
So yeah, of course he is. His arms are the longest out of all of us. He's the tallest.
So good.
The guy could be standing on the Eiffel Tower and his fingers are still touch the floor.
That is very true. Tall motherfucker.
I love you,
the Statue of Liberty, goddammit.
Oh, sorry, the Statue.
Eiffel Tower.
Yeah. Well, you're closer to that than you are the Statue of Liberty. So,
I got a real question though. Is Texas considered a territory, or is it just a sovereign state? Right?
Texas,
by sovereign state, yeah, because it's technically owned by Mexico, right?
What?
What?
Isn't it a territory of Mexico?
Knowledge to me, because I always thought that was part of the 50 of the United States.
It is,
the Lone
but
state,
we rent that state, right?
Hold on, what?
Help me on this. I know.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I could have swore that just within the last 10 years or 15 years, we did another deal with Mexico to have that land for a certain amount of time again.
Yeah, I think we pay a mortgage on whatever you're talking about.
Wait, so then why is Texas trying to secede from the United States?
Because they're the only state then that can succeed for the United States because they're not actually technically a part of the United States.
Or is that because
they're part of the United States?
Or is that because they can supply themselves with whatever they need for the state?
So its current legal state is a state of the United States of America, but while Texas has been part of various political entities throughout its history, including 10 years during 1836 to 1946 as the independent Republic of Texas, the current legal status is a state of the United States of America.
It is a state.
It is talking about then when they were talking. This was like 15 years ago. I'm trying to remember this shit, so I'm sorry if I get shit wrong. I just remember my parents and other people influencing me.
Remember, your parents are the smartest.
Well, true. All right.
Stop picking on him, man. Leave him alone.
I didn't say Josh wasn't smart. I said his parents weren't smart. I know how. I know how smart Josh is.
About that.
I love you, Josh.
That's rich coming from the country that pulled their boats up on our shores. All right. You got a lot of shit to say
hang
now.
on, hang on. They weren't your shores at the time.
Yes, they were.
We declared, bud. We declared the independence.
Listen, you will all fucking respect me. You're a byproduct of me and my countrymen, right? So fucking listen.
You're a fucking distant cousin. Probably second, maybe third. That's about it.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be even closer if you fucking carry on. I'll fly over
Well,
there.
you know what? Where Josh is from, that's actually illegal.
That's true, yeah.
Second.
Anyway, we're digressing. We're digressing too much. We're getting a bit too super straight. So,
speak for yourself.
Josh? Do you think it's okay for countries to just fucking claim the land of another country or island or whatever and say that's ours and then keep it forever?
Nowadays,
no. Yeah, nowadays, hell no. And when I was a kid thinking about 2020, I thought the world would be one. I thought we'd be under one complete Earth nation. It'd be called okay. And we would all speak around almost the same language or have the same type of currency for everything. And that hasn't happened. So I'm still hoping that eventually that will happen in the world.
Fuck that.
So no, I don't agree.
I think they should stay what they are now. Like it's done and it's time to grow up and just, so you're firmly against it, Josh. Like you'll stand up for the right? Like you just like, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on.
Nowadays,
what the fuck? Yeah. We're talking about standing up for which right? What the fuck are we talking about again?
I'm just trying to see, where were you when Russia jumped into Ukraine? Like
exactly.
Yeah, no, I was against it.
Yeah, this is ours now.
No. I was actually on social media on MySpace quite a bit.
Did you change your Facebook page to the flag?
Like I feel like that kind of shit doesn't fly anymore.
No,
that shit does not fly anymore. And
no, I don't understand how it did.
Not in the
they would put sanctions and shit there.
World that we live in now.
I can say as a person from a country that did that fucking relentlessly back in the day, went and fucking invaded.
Piece of shit.
So now we have the Commonwealth, right? So this
clarify that for me, please.
So hang on. I did just have it up, but I closed.
I mean, I can.
Texas is a Mexican state. The state was stolen by Americans while Mexico is in a war.
All right, go ahead with that stolen. That was a long time. That was a long time ago. Get the fuck over the past. That's what I keep telling my wife.
Get the fuck over the past. Said the guys who still cry about the British. But yeah, anyway, we'll get.
I don't cry about you.
We cry. We won.
But we're still talking about it. So
the only thing I'm crying about is all that fucking tea in the harbour, man. That was good tea. Fuckers.
Yeah, that's debatable.
So
better.
The British Commonwealth, there's 54 countries in the Commonwealth.
Okay.
And as it stands right now, we do a lot of work. We provide aid, we provide money, which some of the countries do benefit from. Without, I don't want to. I'm trying to police what I'm saying here. Some of the countries do benefit from the money. Maybe the tourism or whatever that we bring to it. My perspective is I'm going to go back to, for example, the Falklands War. Gibraltar was not Gibraltar. The Falklands is a British territory, right? And in the 60s or 80s, I can't remember what year it was. That's bad. I think it might have been 80s. Argentina decided it was theirs, and fucking stormed in. And tried to take it from us. And Margaret Thatcher, I'm a fan of Margaret Thatcher, decided, we're not fucking have that shit. Let's send the boys in and we'll go and deal with it. And we dealt with it, and the Argentinians couldn't handle the wrath of the British Armed Forces and the professionalism and guile and everything that we had to offer, and they fucked off. But that was a lot of that was because not just because that was ours and we own it, so you can't fucking have it. The people there wanted to be part of, wanted to be British people. So a contrasted opinion is let's look
Suckers.
at let's. Yeah,
Yes.
they wanted to be another country that didn't give a fuck about the veterans. So let's look at dude, I don't give a fuck. Let's bring it. I'll give you all the information you need about that argument. Let's go.
Look, we went down that rabbit hole, bro.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? A few times.
Yeah,
So,
we did. We went down that rabbit hole.
Contrasting argument. Let's look at So yeah, 80s. The contrast argument. Let's look at the likes of like India, and let's look at Hong Kong. Like they wanted their independence, and India, like rightly so, we fucked that country. We took everything we could from that country and fucked off and left them in a shit state, and it was a deplorable example of how
Yes.
Hi, Al.
Josh, put a smile on, dude. Jesus Christ.
I'm thinking of.
It was
back on here.
Is that your fucking thinking face?
That's fucking horrifying, bro.
It's like my
First
brain.
time I've ever seen it.
what we did in India is a deplorable example of how you
Hey, easy
handle
with that word.
territories and stuff like that. It really fucking is. I'm ashamed of it, and I'll openly say I'm ashamed of the way we treated it. But then Hong Kong also, like the way we dealt with that probably wasn't great. But the shitstorm they're going through at the minute, you know, China have just passed a bill in Hong Kong which basically says that they can fuck with who they choose to be the political party.
Well, hold on. Can you explain that? I don't.
Yeah. So basically, if the people of Hong Kong turn around and say, "We vote for these people to control Hong Kong," China can go, "No, we want these."
They did that with Tibet, didn't they?
Yeah.
The Dalai Lama and all that shit.
Years ago or something like that.
So
Okay.
like that's a contrasting example. Like the people in Argentina primarily wanted to be I say primarily. I haven't seen any historical recount of did I say Gibraltar again? I did, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah, my bad. But the
It's
Falklands.
Gibraltar.
It's
Gibraltar.
I don't know a historical recount of any of a person of the Falklands that turned around and said, "I want to be Argentinian," or "I want to be a Falkland Islander. I don't want to be British." I don't. If there is some out there, then please throw them at me because I'd be super interested to read that and know about that. Hong Kong wanted their independence. Hong Kong got their independence, and now they've got a fucking deal with China.
Yep.
Even though we're nothing to do with that place anymore, we still owe a right of support to Hong Kong to say, "Yo, China, fuck off." They wanted their independence. Independence doesn't mean being ruled by you.
Well, isn't that what NATO was made for?
Oh, don't get me started on NATO, the most useless
Yeah, I know,
organization
trust
since fucking.
Don't get him started on NATO, man.
But that's what NATO was made for, is to help out these countries that don't have a backbone for themselves. And then it just fucked off from there.
I like how you use backbone.
I know, you like that?
Thank you for your service.
Hey, you're welcome.
Dad, I don't think anyone knows what Bartles and James wine coolers are. Those are from the 80s.
Oh, shit. Yeah, no, I don't.
Bartles and James.
I was looking at that comment and I was like, "What?
Yeah,
The
same.
fuck?"
It says Bartles and James disappeared after the 80s.
That golfer, we were born in the 80s, mate. So,
Yeah, it's
know what I
like
mean?
87.
get with the times, bro. It's the Catalina wine mixer now. You know?
Yeah.
Catalina wine mixer.
You know what that is?
I'll take a cool, smooth Coors Light, please. Thank you. Aged no years.
So, yeah, as Top Whiskey Mod said, Falklands referendum, voters choose to remain UK territory. And that was in 2013. So they had a referendum and they wanted to remain.
Fair
So
enough, Padre.
fucking Falklands.
Yo, I like it.
So
Damn it.
like I agree with it as long as you support it. You got you owe something to that place. You well, not that land. You owe something to the people. But if the people decide they want out, then let them have out. And the people who don't, come and move to the UK. It's all right. It's a bit wet. A bit boring.
I think everybody should move to the UK.
You'll get
It's a
fined.
bit-
You'll get fined £1,000 for putting a fence up that your neighbours don't like. But you know,
Jesus.
The UK, the land
bro.
of the fucking
Fuck that commie
homeowners
shit.
association.
And Piers Morgan.
Yeah.
believe that you actually had to take that shit down.
I know, mate.
I can't believe that, honestly. Well, I can, because here in Germany it's the same way too. I can't paint my house whatever fucking color I want to paint it.
Yeah, but you can leave your Christmas decorations up for 3 years.
It was 2 years. Thank you very much. And they're finally down, by the way, because you got in my head with that. But you know how hard it is to put my fucking lights up, bro? My ladder's not tall enough, and I'm not buying a $400 ladder.
How would you know how hard it is to put your lights up? You only done it once.
Yeah, exactly. You have no idea how hard it is to put up my lights. Shit's hard. It was difficult, man. I thought I was gonna die every time I put the bitches up there.
Greatest time.
The one time you put them up there and left
The
them
one
up there?
time I thought I was gonna die. That's why I left them up there, because I didn't want to do it
Too
again.
scared to do it again.
Fuck yeah.
I'll let you get them up here to die. I'll help you, bro.
Get them for me.
Actually, I won't be here the next time you put them up.
Yeah, Jake knows. I talked to him about his new coming thing going on, and I'm scared of heights. I'm terrified. Terrified.
This man said he would. This man said he would not look over.
No.
I think in reference to our school, Rob. What is that like? Just it's 3 stories, right?
I'll hang out at the edge of that motherfucker.
So,
My
hang
biggest
on,
fear
hang on.
is that I'll jump.
We're going off topic here.
Yeah. Have you ever jumped off that when you were a kid and broken your head open?
We're going off
No.
topic.
So that's why I don't do that shit.
We always look good.
Out of a tree like that and did it.
Let's get back on topic. What about
Now you don't climb trees.
what other
You climb buildings.
What historical territories has the US had? Was Cuba one or not? I don't know.
We had a fucking
American history.
embargo and shit with them.
Yeah, I
but
know about that.
it wasn't ours. We have Puerto Rico.
The
I
Panama.
don't know. Dad, help me.
Panama.
Dad!
Panama was.
I know for a country that's so big and great, you haven't invaded many places, have you?
We don't need to
We've invaded
because our
ourselves.
country's good enough.
Well,
To invade
I-
Unlike
ourselves.
yours, who's like, you know what? Fine, fuck you guys, we're leaving. You guys
So
basically
I
are
know-
the Pierce Morgan of countries.
We have
Got up and walked the fuck out.
the U.S.
I love it. I
Fort-
love it. I love a good uneducated opinion.
All right,
I'm kidding. I love it.
the U.S. has 14 territories: Puerto Rico, Guam, the Virgin Islands,
Yep.
Northern
Not after
Mariana Islands, American Samoa,
Oh, you
Midway Atoll. I don't know what that is.
You can't say that word on Twitch anymore, dude. You have to call it just a.
It's just the islands.
Have you got a
Plus-
beat, Rob? Have you got a beat?
It actually,
You know, for a
Yeah,
swear
hold on,
word.
guys. Hold on.
Hang on,
The islands.
yeah.
One of the main things is the islands. Okay, I'll say it again. The islands.
We
A
just
lot
don't
of
make it out.
live there.
I don't think
All right.
we own making out pops, but
All right. American Samoa, Midway Atoll, Palmyra Atoll, Baker Islands, Howland Islands, Jarvis Island. That's fucking cool. I didn't know there was. I don't even know what that is. I don't know what half of these are.
Jarvis Island.
I don't know what 90% of these are.
The
Johnson
Samoan
Atoll,
Islands is Hawaiian.
I know what that is. I have a lot of friends from that area. Kingman Reef, Wake Islands, and Navassa Island.
I fucks with Navassa.
That sounds like a lot of countries that aren't real countries, so we just kind of adopted them and said we'll help you.
Bastard stepchildren of America.
It's really, honestly, if you think about it, that's really what it is. Like, hey, you can't defend yourself, so either you just kind of hang out with us, and when we need you, we'll call you, and if not,
Yeah, Bella says it says something when you can't say a British internet service provider company either, because we've got hang on.
You got mobile, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't just do mobile; they do internet. They do TV.
Oh, they do
everything.
airlines.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, I need to
And what
get.
about? Hang on, is that Islamophobic?
Oh,
What?
careful.
whoa, that's
What?
Is this what?
Well, because when you die, you get
72 engines.
yeah, exactly.
Oh
On
shit!
Twitch.
that's
Disgusting.
for another day.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good question, Twitch.
That's for next week.
Mhm.
Really?
Man in the
next
holy
week's topic.
word, are you? Okay. Wow.
I think we move on from Josh.
You know, if they charged a penny, that wouldn't happen, Josh. If they charged a penny,
Hey,
1 cent can help feed this fucking
But it would.
social media.
maybe we give those 14 territories a penny to own them.
I
I mean,
think we give
how
them
do you
far
get
more than
my-
a penny.
How do you get to my OnlyFans at MogoXXOnlyFans.com? You know, you have to pay for it.
Oh, dude, you have to OnlyFans. Oh,
You beeped it wrong.
Oh, you fucking too good, bro.
No, all right. So my dad had a good point. He said those islands were important to us during World War II, which makes a lot of sense considering the different areas where we were fighting. World War II was not only in Europe; we were fighting also in Japan at the same time.
Yeah.
The Marines and shit.
Okay. All right.
So they were important, and we kept them.
He's gonna get his flag out and his fucking service dress out in a minute. Relax, dude.
Shit. Because I'm proud to be an American.
Can we get a thank you for your service for Rob in chat real quick?
Thank you for your service, Rob.
A big
Thank
big
you for your service,
thank
Rob.
you for your service.
Everybody. Look, get everybody in there.
Oh shit!
There better be 30 at least.
As he drops them on the floor.
Oh, I'll do it like the old vets.
Yeah.
Yes,
That
yes.
suits you. I think you're at that age.
Half of the islands and atolls you have where
Island, but that's really not
testing. Oh shit! Okay, I didn't know.
No, I don't think that's very true because Bikini Island was the only one that was actually used.
This motherfucker talking about SpongeBob.
Did you say Bikini Island?
Yeah, Bikini Island.
Bikini Atoll.
Bikini Bottom, you idiot.
Offshore
Bikini
bomb
Bottom.
making. That's actually the ones you can look up easily and watch the actual nuclear explosions in water.
What's wrong with your mic?
Fucking nuts.
Yeah, your mic's gone weird.
It's fucking nuts.
Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
it's on the wrong side. That's why.
Goodness, you grow up, man.
Hey,
I need to grow up.
go.
So, what are we saying? All in favour of...
Thank you for your service, doo-doo.
All in
Keeping what you
favour...
got and not taking any more.
Okay. Jake?
Or combine it all in one.
All in favor for what?
Having territories around the world.
Aber sobald ich irgendwie
In favour of it or not?
Ich sag auch nichts, oder die Oma.
If those territories can't defend themselves, yeah.
Okay.
Aber wenn du was
Josh?
hörst, dann sag mal.
No.
No. Okay, I'm going to say it depends on the people. If the people want to be part of the country that owns the territory, then so be it. If they
Then
don't,
it's not going to be a territory anymore.
if they don't, then let them do their thing.
All right, moving on.
Okay.
I'm hot. I got feelings tonight, boys. Oof.
Oh, I'm loving it because I'm loving it because last week you were like,
Last week I was depressed. I was anxious. I had too much anxiety to be here, but
yeah, I know.
I was here.
I fucking felt it, and I'm glad you were still here.
Tighten my mic.
I'm glad you guys actually. I'm glad I was there.
I didn't think I was
glad
going to live
you're
to make it to
finally-
this one.
I'm glad you're finally not just a territory anymore. You know, you're actually involved.
You guys leaving the the sensitive ones for old hen dog here to deal with.
This was
I would have done that one, but before we start, don't you
Yep,
fucking
that's
put
true.
it don't put it on us
I'm
three.
trying to be the trooper. I'm
Don't
sorry.
try to be a.
Fuck out of here. I would
It's dude, I
ahead. ahead.
understand that it's the British education, and you want someone who's got that to be able to,
I'm leaving. Here's morning.
There's a little-
Coming soon.
Josh is out.
The Whiskey Club NA.
Yeah.
Sundays, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, so the misrepresentation and
didn't really
trend
want.
of mental health in modern society. So this is quite a touchy one, quite a big one. And before I start it, this is purely my opinion. I don't mean to. I'm being genuine. I don't mean to upset or offend anyone. And if there is some Rob,
Why?
fucking
Why?
arsehole.
You can still fucking hear us. That makes no point.
Yeah. And if there is anyone out there that does need any fucking help at all, there's a lot of lifelines out there, and there's us as well. If there's anything you fucking need in the mental health capacity, I'm sure any of us are more than happy to fucking help anyone out. Okay.
We
point-
are not qualified physicians and or
No,
psychiatrists.
but
However,
we can
we do have experience.
yeah, and we can help point you in what may be the right direction. Okay, so
Wait, can I call a timeout real quick?
yeah.
Yeah. For what?
Raise your hand if you take crazy pills. Is your hand up, Hendo?
No, I don't.
Oh, you guys suck.
I-
Half of us
I-
are
I-
on
I really
crazy
should.
pills. We're good.
I refuse.
So
50%.
I'm
Oh,
gonna-
that's- I
I'm
love
gonna-
it, dude.
I'm
I
gonna
refuse.
I'm gonna touch on this from two perspectives. So I'm gonna touch on it from what I think is the modern opinion of it, Well, I'll say 3. Modern opinion of it, my opinion, and my own experience. So, the misrepresentation of mental health nowadays is that I feel like a lot of the time, I think it's using as an excuse. I know people that have done an act of something that's questionable, and maybe
An act of cowardice.
yeah, or well, not just cowardice, but anything in general, something they've done which has been brought into question, and they use the excuse of mental health. And there is people out there that fucking do that to get away with something, to get off lightly with something, or to gain sympathy for a situation or an argument that they're trying to, they're trying to spin. The trend of it is that, as I've just said, people use it a lot, and I do think in some ways it's almost become trendy to say that. So like, I've seen it. I hate to say it, but I've seen influencers do it. I'm not doing X, Y, and Z today because of my mental health. When that person who's got mental health issues might sit on the internet in a fucking bikini and getting thousands of pounds of donations or making a fat load of money off OnlyFans or whatever. Right now, I am gonna have a retort to that, a counter argument to it, or a reasoning behind my thinking there. So that's not it dead and buried. The problem with it in modern society is that because, as I touched upon last week about the use of language and the use of certain words and stuff like that, and there's a part of it where I said how it desensitizes us to it. The term mental health has become fucking nothing because it can be thrown around nowadays. People can use it. I've got mental health issues. Okay, cool. I'm me. Everyone has. Everyone's got a bit of self-doubt. Everyone's got a bit of something they don't necessarily believe in about themselves, or something they've got a problem with, whether it be the shape of their body, the clothes that they wear, their opinion or point of view on something. I think like this because of my mental health status. Like, I think that's an issue. So, from a sort of personal perspective, I've had my fucking battles, big battles, from time to time. I have some days where I wake up and everyone's a piece of shit. I've spoke to these guys, have had many conversations with me where I'm like, yeah. Well, we might have a call during the day and we're hanging. They're like, yeah, how's it going? I'm like, yeah, fucking, I'm done today. I've had enough.
Yeah.
Fucking. And most days I'm on top of the world, but there's that one day that fucking takes you down to depths. But I almost find it when I see something on social media or on the news, not just social media, but on the news or on a chat show or on a podcast, for example, or something like that, and someone uses it as I did this because of my mental health. I don't have much credibility in what they say to a certain extent, because when you drop that term, mental health, I feel like it invalidates any counter argument to what you're saying. So for me to question something, so let's say I'm going to pick on Jake for a second. Sorry,
I
Jake.
would too.
I'm going to pick on you for a second.
Absolutely, pick on me. I'm
so,
good with it.
Let's say Jake did something, and when I said, "Why did you do that?" and he said, "My mental health situation at the time," I can't question that anymore because it's become one of them topics where you can't touch. But one thing I've learned throughout my battles and struggles with mental health issues is that the key part is talking about it. And it sounds like a common thing, and it is. The key part is talking about it in the right time, the right place, to the right people, in the right circumstances.
Yep.
But by constantly fucking throwing that term around, I feel like you invalidate or kind of kill the right for anyone to question it.
Okay, so see, here's my thing. I think you're pretty good on that. Is if you lie, just like when Jake last week, if you lie to me, you've lied to me now. If you said you have mental health issues, you have mental issues with me, right? It's two separate things. So I could go one direction and say, oh, if you lie to me, you lie to me, and if you say you always have mental health, then you always have mental health, and then it just becomes a norm. I think what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is if like let's just say Rob, for instance, right, came to me and goes, man, I'm really fucked up today. I can't think straight. I can't do anything. My head is banging. I don't know which way to go. I'd be like, okay, cool. Let's go hang. Let's get Jake. And
Let's
if
play
you're
WoW.
here, let's go for a walk in the woods and just go spelunking, right?
Let's go.
And then that day would be gone. But if every single day he did that and it became a normality, then I could see a difference, then, or if he's just using it as an excuse, then I'd be like, oh, fuck off,
Yeah.
Well, so, all right. Because
yeah.
I will use, so I'm definitely one of those persons one of those peoples that will use
there you go. Good shit. I like it.
My mental health as an excuse, because there are sometimes, like, I'm a man of my word. When I tell you I want to do something, like the other day, Rob and I went on a 2-mile run. I did not want to fucking do it. I did not want to do it. But I did it because I told him I was going to. And my legs hurt. Right. My goddamn legs hurt.
I went running again today.
Yeah, did you really?
Another 2.5 miles.
You're a champion.
Not, dude. Why? And also, why didn't you contact me for that? But no, regardless.
I want to
I didn't know I was going to do it.
We'll talk about that afterwards.
I want to say something that might be tough to say, and I am going to put you on the spot. And
if it's tough to say, it's the best to say.
And I apologize if I put any of you on the spot, and you don't feel comfortable with it. We'll just move on. That's fine, and I am fine with this. I probably shouldn't do it, but I'm going to because I feel
do it.
I'm more than prepared to answer the question.
We're all big boys.
But if any of you guys, which have all been in a somewhat maybe similar situation to myself, at any point of your lives, if you ever been almost, I want to say ashamed, but I don't want ashamed, to turn around and say that my frame of mind or skirt around the term mental health has been a problem for you.
Yes, 100%.
Can you phrase that differently for me?
So,
or were you ever ashamed to say that you had mental health problems?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I was 100%. Never that. I never.
Absolutely.
I wasn't. As soon as I felt something, I was like, "Oh, I'm fucking nuts. I need help."
I don't know if I can give this example.
But Rob, see, you do it through the avenue of almost comedy, because you are a fucking funny dude.
He is super fucking funny.
You do it through the avenue. Yeah, I'm fucking crazy, dude. Like,
he masks. You mean to say he masks it behind masks?
Well, not masks, but I think masks is the wrong way. He channels it through that avenue, which is a healthy, which is a healthy thing to do, because it is a form.
But he does express it too,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Rob?
No, yeah.
You guys knew, like, I'll say it. I mean, I don't care. So this past 3 weeks or so has been rough for me out of nowhere. Like, I stopped. So I've been on Zoloft for 2 years now, and I had random panic attacks. According to the VA and everybody, I've got generalized anxiety disorder, which I 100% agree with. Panic disorder, which I also 100% agree with.
Veterans Association for the guys that don't.
Okay. So
for the people in the UK that don't know what that shit is.
Yeah.
So generalized anxiety disorder is defined as, like, I have anxiety about everything for no reason. It's just a general feeling of anxiety. It's not from any particular thing that happens. I don't have, flashbacks or things like that. But I will have various times of anxiety. I get overwhelmed very quickly when things don't go, well, I used to, when things don't go smoothly.
I do.
I get really overwhelmed very quickly to the point of where I start freaking the fuck out. And that in turn became, this is all before I was diagnosed and got treatment for it. But before that, it was just like, I thought it was normal to just be overwhelmed immediately. Like, and just like freak out, hyperventilate, shit like that. And then it turned into panic disorder where I'd be it always seems to be washing the dishes that gets me. It's not that I have to wash the dishes or something. It's that moment of mindfulness of me sitting there and thinking while I'm doing something. It's been twice that I've had a panic attack doing that for no fucking reason, but I've had plenty more. But
is it because in your head you might be multitasking?
No, it's just what?
Because so that's my thing. While I'm doing something, if something comes up that I need to do, like, so for example, for his example, while I'm doing the dishes, I'm not only thinking about me having to do the dishes, I'm also thinking about me. So on Monday, I have to have all my shit out of my basement for what we call Sperrmüll. Yeah, I've been in Germany so long, I forget what fucking Sperrmüll actually even is in
just
English.
junk.
Yeah, right. You put your junk on the side of the road, and I filled in. Rob, I would like you to keep on going. I just filled in because you popped out. No, you're good, brother.
So mine, it comes with like, it's not about any specific thing. My panic attacks, they just happen, and then it is like a rolling rock or whatever. They like a rolling stone or whatever, or a snowball going down. It just starts real small. I get this pump in my chest, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then I had what was called derealization or depersonalization. It's a very scary thing. And I didn't know what it was until I started reading about it. But what happens is nothing feels real anymore. You feel like you're an observer to your world rather than a part of it.
Yeah.
So you forget things from moment to moment, and you wonder how you got to this position. You have a slight memory. When you're having these panic attacks, your short-term memory and shit like that gets real kind of fucked up. And so what happens is I could walk to one end of the room in a panic, thinking like, I don't know what's going on. I walk to one end of the room, and then I think, did I just walk over here? How long have I fucking been here? And then you panic about that, and then it just tumbles and tumbles and tumbles to the point of where you have to go outside. And at this point, I knew nothing about panic attacks, literally nothing. And so I didn't know what was happening. I knew I was panicking, and I knew nothing was happening to me, but I was freaking the fuck out. And I didn't know any ways to get rid of it. But then I went online, and this is how I found Buddhism. This is how I found the meditation stuff that I'm super into, and things like that. And then I went to work the next day thinking I was okay. Panic attack happened again. I went and I told my boss that I don't know what the fuck's going on with me. I have to go see a therapist. So went straight to the fucking therapist. He did all these fucking stupid little papers with me, had me answer a bunch of questions, talk to me about it. And he was like, yeah, you have generalized anxiety disorder. Then they sent me to a psychiatrist. I went on Zoloft. And after 2 weeks, they gave me Xanax, which was really a lifesaver. It could be a life ender too if you decide you want to get too crazy with it. But Xanax, when prescribed,
think we get that in the UK. I don't think we get.
No, yeah, it's alprazolam. It's really good if you're prescribed for it and you need it. It works wonders because it will kick a panic attack's fucking ass. Like these past few days, I've taken I think one a day. I think the past few weeks maybe. And I normally take one. No, Xanax is immediate. It's 30 minutes. I think it takes to kick in. Zoloft takes a couple weeks, but
if that, it takes it's however long it takes you metabolize that pill.
Yeah, so
I knew there was one, right, that you had to keep taking.
Most of them, the SSRIs are slow releasing, so they take a while to kick in because they block selective serotonin reuptake.
Yeah,
it's called selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. So they prevent your serotonin from like going away or some shit like that. So
that's my little pink pill I take.
Because all this panic and anxiety is a chemical reaction in your brain. It's a chemical thing. Your fight or flight mechanism gets kicked in and when you have panic disorder, it gets kicked in for no reason. It just snaps. And I'm a hypochondriac, so I'm just a big fucking mess up here for some reason, and I don't know why. So my biggest thing stems from hypochondria.
You're the most beautiful hypochondriac I've ever met.
So
and I've been years. I've been good with it. Like just maybe like a year and a half. I've had nothing, no fear. I've been living life fucking great. I stopped taking my meds. I think for 2 weeks or so. I think it was the limit. I just stopped taking them because I just forgot about it. I was doing great. I didn't care. Just fucking forgot about taking them. And then it came back, and I had that crackling in my throat, where it was like, and it was a crackling noise, and I thought, I wonder if I have emphysema. So that emphysema has now turned into somehow I now have testicular cancer. It has just gone from every part of my body that has felt. From that moment, I started panicking. I said, "Shit, I need to get back on my meds." It's been 2 weeks. My meds are starting to work now. Finally, again. As you can tell from last week, if you go back to last week's VOD, you can see it. Like you can legitimately see it that I was not the same person.
You were the last stream. You were a different person than you were on the first
Yeah,
one,
100%.
and that you are now.
Yeah, I was trying to be here.
I spent that whole fucking week every single day. You good today, dude? You good today, dude?
See,
I mean,
how are you getting on today, dude? You good today, dude?
What you guys may not know about me.
You know what? That's actually why I actually started playing WoW with him.
Because
I know that because I know that is Rob's number one favorite game of all time. That is the game.
I will give you mouth hugs all day.
That's what
but not that.
That is the game that Rob can sit there and play and not have to think too much, unless he's helping me out because I'm a fucking noob at WoW.
No, but that's fine. That I escape into that when I'm having these problems.
That's what we do. And one thing I want to touch on before we continue it is that a big thing for me, and I reckon I think I can speak for all of us when I say this, is that having some people there that not only understand, because people will say that they understand, but the people that really understand are the people that have been through or going through that experience, and that's super important, right?
Yeah, 100%. Like you guys here, I've spoken to you, and I've never met you in person.
Yeah,
but I've sat and talked to you and spouted to you about some. Yeah, exactly. Spouted to you about some things that were very personal to me. I mean, I've showed you my nuts. You know.
What? Hold on. You've shown your nuts?
Yes,
I haven't. You just haven't looked because I'm afraid of Mandy seeing it. So anyway, unless you want Mandy to see him too, you don't want to be shamed.
Would you class this as a penis? Is usually the question.
Yes, exactly. 100%.
I'm gonna end my point. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Josh. Go ahead.
No. End your point if you want to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me end it. So what scares me the most is that there's people out there that are going through this shit who don't know what it is, who don't have anyone to talk to. It is a horrifying experience to go through a fucking panic attack. It is one of the realest, most fucking primal feelings that you can go through, to think you're dying and not know why, and be horrified of not knowing what's happening to you, and to think that everything is coming to an end. So, like, honestly, I know there's not a crazy amount of people watching, and most of you probably don't have mental health issues, but if you do and you're going through a panic attack, like, understand that there are ways to bring it the fuck back. You know what I mean? Like breathing 100%. Exercises, meditation is a huge fucking thing. Cognitive behavioral therapy is another one. And you go through that. One of the ways to get to that is meditation. And these are all things that I've studied I got certified in meditation fucking years ago just because I loved it. And I mean, you really just, and medication, don't be fucking scared to go talk to somebody, honestly.
I see you.
Hold on, no. I just want to say this. Top Whiskey Mod, drop our Discord inside there. And if you ever have that feeling, or you feel like you can't take it, or you need someone to talk to,
I'll live video you.
We're a video call
put
away.
It in, we're right here.
Come play WoW.
100%. I'll video call you. And I will talk shit just like I talk to all these guys.
We're gonna call our guild crippling anxiety.
We will give you shit.
Hold on,
but we will be there with you as we give you
100%.
shit.
100%. But that's what I like about my group of guys that I have now is it's a real connection. What some of you guys don't know is I actually have social anxiety. Like I can't talk to people. Like I get real freaky. Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. I mean, you can sort of see it, but I'm able to talk to people. I got great charisma. I've been told like several times that I can just talk to random people and fucking figure out them and be able to make them do things that I want them to do without me even really trying.
My mind.
Yeah, no,
that might be a different kind of disorder.
But I also have adjustment disorder with depressed mood as well, and I have exactly what you talked about, Rob. About ever since I was 15 years old, I think I've had that to where just out of nowhere, I feel my heartbeat. It doesn't even have to be fast; I just feel it.
Yeah.
And once I feel my heartbeat, then I think about my heartbeat, and when I'm thinking about my heartbeat, it's getting faster. And then I panic about it, and I'm somewhere I have no idea. Like when I lived on the farm when I was 15 years old, I remember being in the open field and wondering how the fuck did I get out here? And I'm half clothed. I'm literally in my underwear and
blood
socks.
all over my clothes.
No, but I'm wondering how I got here. But I kind of remembered I was walking, but not remembering. But I ended up figuring out when I was 16, 17 years old that I had to take a shower. So I always put that in my brain, shower. So when I get in those panic attacks, it was just boom, straight to the shower. And I was in the shower and I was gone. That's my go.
That's why you.
That's my
figure shit out.
meditation. Yeah, that's
So-
my meditation.
so,
So it doesn't
like,
have to be
I mean-
beads. It doesn't have to be.
I mean, going back onto the subject of like too much trend of mental health in modern society.
Oh yeah, true.
I-
Yeah, we've got it up
like-
here.
I think, like, my take, the way I see it, there's so much to do nowadays. Whether it's, I can sit at my computer and be entertained for 7 days a week, quite happy.
100%.
But then equally, obviously, COVID exempt, I can go outside and be entertained for 7 days a week.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of it is there's a lot going on, a lot of information, and life itself is fucking hard work. Life is fucking tough, man. Life is not easy. It's not
no.
life is not
It's not easy being a human.
no, life is not an easy thing. There's a lot to see, a lot to do, and then with the added reality of the internet, you can be entertained forever by that. There's so many things to do, but one thing that I think helps in terms of that is focus. You got to find your thing. You've got to find the thing. This is one of mine. Keep your head screwed on and find the thing you want to do and go for it. And that's what helps a lot. In terms of the trend when it comes down to mental health in modern society, is that I think the term is thrown around a bit more than it should do. I think it's also I think it's also a bit of a scapegoat. I think some people use it as a bit of a get out of having to explain themselves, having to like answer for something they've done or something they've said. Like, for example, you look at the sort of the justice system. Like, you can plead that you were fucking crazy as to why you committed a crime, and
I was just about to bring that up.
And providing that can be confirmed, your sentence can be totally different to anyone else's.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, I say anyone else's. Your sentence can be.
You
different
go from
to
being
what it could be.
you go from being smacked into a maximum security prison to a
Golf course resort.
for example.
In Germany,
Yeah.
For
that's
example,
a true thing.
Yeah, they get cable
Yeah.
TV over here.
Yeah, and PlayStations and Xboxes and pool tables and table tennis.
Bella, do you think that police officer that's been arrested in Kent will try and use mental health to try and help himself? Who knows? He may do, and if he does, it's down to a medical interpretation, right? So, I mean,
Yeah, that's definitely down to for a professional to establish.
interpretation. But I want to say again, none of us are professionals. We all, when it comes to mental health issues or anyone who's going through any dramas which they think might be mental health related, none of us are professionals on it. We all, I think I'm happy to say, we've all had our experiences, and we all have our issues with it.
Yeah, and we all have our avenues of approach with it.
Yeah, so if
I didn't mean to hold that up as a saying as alcohol was an avenue of
This is
approach.
our avenue, yeah.
That is not a fucking avenue of approach.
Definitely not.
My thing is,
whatsoever.
if anyone who's watching just needs an ear, we have the Discord, and this is not a fucking a ploy to get people to sign up to join it or whatever. I genuinely mean it. We won't accept any shitheads or any arseholes that'll make fun of you for it in our channel.
Yeah, no.
If you've got a genuine issue, if you've got a problem and you need a shoulder to cry on for a bit or an ear to lend for a while, then
Even someone to fucking rant to.
Yeah. Because that's what we do
If
for
you
fucking
got
three and a half hours on a
I
Saturday
mean,
night.
if you got something you need to get off your chest, like some asshole that's been pissing you off in your class or at work or
That's-
fucking even
or
anything,
each other.
That's what
or
it's
each
there
other,
for.
right?
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
So please do use that avenue if you feel it's necessary. But I will say I do think it's a term that's used and maybe abused a little bit too often in the world right now. What about you guys?
I agree with you as well, but at the other hand, it's still a very hard thing to come clean about because some people don't know they actually have a mental disorder or that they're fucked up. They just think it's normality. Or B, they know they're fucked up, but don't want other people to know that they're
But you
fucked
see,
up.
that's my thing with it.
That's
And
me.
it's so hard.
That's my thing with it is that
I let everything out there.
someone
I
who's
don't give
happy
no
to
fucks
sit on
for me.
TV in front of millions of people, or maybe YouTube, maybe not social media. I don't want to say definitely, but I want to say definitely.
Mhm.
That want to sit there and say, I have these issues. This is why I do this. I have these issues. This is why I couldn't do this. From my struggles with admitting it and coming sort of clean with it, it might be a pride thing, I don't know, but I call bullshit. If you're happily to sit there and say, I have mental health problems, this is why I do this. This is why I do X, Y, and Z. I'm like, I don't really like the game that you're playing there. Don't subscribe to me because I have mental health issues. Subscribe to me because I'm good at what I do. That's
the difference though between pride and having issues. Because everybody has different issues. They brought it up one time about PTSD, about these guys and stuff not going outside the wire. They were literally sitting in a building in the green zone. But to them, just being in Iraq alone was already so stressful to them that they had traumatic stress disorders.
I like how
because it really well. I mean, I'm just going to that point. Yeah.
No, you're good because I was gonna go in the opposite direction, but I shouldn't go there. So
no,
but even see
you know what I mean. So everybody's
behind
different.
the wire thing. The behind.
I'm not just talking about that. I'm saying
I
this
know,
is
I know, yeah. But I mean, the environment in general, like you're in. Let me look at it from our point of view that we have experience of to shed some light on it. Is that the environment in general, being in a foreign country where even if you're the boy out on the ground, you don't know what's coming next. But even if you're sitting behind the wire, say you're sitting in a comm center, which is familiar to me, or an air traffic control center if you're Air Force or whatever, there's still a big risk. And there's also, not on top of that risk, you've got the worry of what's going on at home. You don't know what's going to... You don't know what's going to come next. And I'm not saying you should be fearful of it, but it is a stress on your mind. It's a lot to put 100%. On your mind. But I'm not saying it's a thing that shouldn't be done. It's just something that some people might need help with, and that's cool, and that's fine. But I don't think the terminology of mental health should be thrown around as much.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either.
What about you, Rob?
Thrown around surface.
I do think that it's become a trend to resort to that. I think it's hard to define what is and what isn't based off other people's experiences. It's their personal experience, so one can't say for a fact, no, you don't. You're doing this for attention or something like that. I think that if you are doing it, then it's ignorant, and I don't wish that you have mental health issues and things like that. I wish you understood it more and that you knew what it really was, rather than just falling back on it because you know it's going to get you sympathy. And that's not to say that, people, I've never seen it where, I mean, short of the people that are faking having cancer for this, that, or whatever benefit, and then they get called out on it and get caught and things like that. But, I take it for face value. If someone says, hey, I'm having mental health issues, I reach out to them. Like if I see it on Twitter, I don't even know this person. Hey, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. I don't know if I should be around anymore, blah, blah, blah. Like I will message them. I don't care if I know them or not. And I'll say, hey, are you good? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Because
do you think Do you think the use of that terminology though is gonna kill that? Like if you, a lot of people
Like make you numb
a
to
lot,
it.
yeah, a lot of people say, well, no, not make you numb to it, but the more people that say it, the more normalized it becomes, and then not just normalized, but you also start seeing the whole. It becomes easier to call bullshit on.
I don't think it ever. It depends on the person and the boy who cried wolf story. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's what,
Yeah.
that's what I was going with.
But I think that it's very hard for us
as
it's
non-professionals.
It's not our place to
It's
do
really
that.
It's hard to determine who is the boy who cried wolf.
I think that at that point, I step back and I say, you know what, this isn't
I
my.
need to see somebody an expert.
This isn't my thing.
I need to say something before I
Do it.
go out and have a cigarette. I think it's not up to us or anyone that's not a professional to say who's bullshitting and who's not.
Even down
I
to
think
experience.
Yeah, I think it doesn't matter.
I think regardless if we think they're bullshitting or not, because post-traumatic stress disorder is up to the individual. It's not a set.
Everyone's
not
account is different, right?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Like Josh could have PTSD from us making him fucking do the intro today.
Yeah,
we don't know.
Yeah, and
I have social anxiety, so it did freak me out.
Basically,
PTSD from
never again. No, but yeah, I mean, he definitely hit the nail on the head about the cry and the wolf, and your personal experience is your personal experience. But I think the people that have to call out mental health issues have mental health issues because obviously they're searching for something. With that, I think we can move on to the next thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. All right. So then we go on to.
We got our rants.
Yeah. We got our rants. I'm gonna grab a smoke real quick. Excuse me for my.
It better be fun.
I think we should start with Rob.
Are you going, Rob?
Yeah, I'll go. My rant is.
Are you feeling this? Let me.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna talk low and slow.
Okay. What?
I'm gonna talk low and slow.
5 minutes slow.
Make your daddy
nice
proud.
And slow. Don't you worry.
Okay. Let me put you on. I'll tell you when. And you are good. And go.
All right. So my rant was something that I have trouble finding rants because I have a hard time caring too much about what's happening in the world outside of my little bubble and my group of friends and family, which is a good thing. It's a blessing. But my rant today is on the problem with prisons, the prison system. I think that I feel like, and I don't know where this came from. I thought about this before we started the podcast, like literally while the fucking intro was running. If you go to jail for a petty, maybe like you stole a car, right? It's hard, like, and you go to like federal prison, right? It's hard to come out of that without more charges or getting stuck in prison for even longer, right? Like, because of the environment within that prison, you know what I mean? Like, so if you go in there, and don't take this the wrong way, but I'm a white dude, right? So if I go in there, and prison is, no lie, prison is generally, the population is based on race, like where it comes to like the groups who hang out and what happens, that's just a fact. So it's hard for people of a specific race. I don't believe this is fucking treading dangerous waters. I don't believe that your race at all makes you more likely to do this thing or that thing and things like that. But when you go in there, if you're a good person and you go in there, you made a mistake, you stole a car, now you're in there, but somebody's fucking testing you every single day and nobody's doing anything about it, and the only way you have to defend yourself is to fight or to, you know, God forbid, you have to kill somebody or something like that. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but that's just the reality of it. Now you're stuck in there on a murder charge, and it's just like an endless vicious circle. So I feel like there needs to be a way to kind of take care of that. It just seems like a dangerous thing. I'm scared to go to prison because I'm afraid that I will have to join a fucking gang or some shit that that I don't fucking agree with, just so I don't get killed, and then I'm gonna end up being in prison for life when I was there for a 3-year sentence anyways, and now I'm here for life because in order for me not to die, I had to fucking kill somebody or fight somebody, and now I get more charges added onto that. So it's like a vicious fucking circle. So I mean, what do you do in that situation? Like, has anyone in the chat been to prison before? And
Top Whiskey Mod says, "Nah, you're pretty."
I got a big old booty too, so no, I do not. I don't. It's not thick. I don't know. It just seems like a really weird situation to be in, like when you go to prison. And a lot of people can be like, oh, well, then don't steal a fucking car. But, people make stupid mistakes. There's definitely some mistakes I've made. And I can guarantee you one of these fuckers have made some mistakes where we probably should have been in federal prison, at least for like a year. Maybe not federal prison, but jail. Definitely jail. So it's like, maybe we just need to police the prisons a little better. Maybe we need to do that. I don't know. That's just my opinion. And if you don't like it, I don't give a fuck. That's the end of my rant. It's not going 5 minutes, but you'll be all right. Smooth jazz.
Should I play some smooth jazz now?
That's
how do you feel about that, Rob? How do you feel like? Do you think it's hard? This is a tough topic because, like, for me anyway, because compared to you three and your experiences, obviously you got the experience of two different countries. You got the US and you got Germany as well. Like, how do you think it quantifies as a not restorative? What's the word that I'm looking for?
Rehabilitative.
Yeah, like a rehabilitative sort of.
I think in Germany, they strive themselves on being a rehabilitative system here in Germany, because I know a guy down the lines that is doing 6 months in jail for $80,000 worth of drugs, selling them, whatnot, and they're trying to rehabilitate him back into the society by seeing a mental health doctor, all this like stuff with social workers and stuff like that to figure out why he's doing it in the first place. So Germany's definitely different, and I think in America it's more about punishing them and also educating them at the same time. But the education system's kind of lacking on that. I think it's more just like punishing. It's hard to really say because I've never been to prison to see what's really going on with my own eyes or ears, you know what I mean? So, but here I know for a fact that's what it is.
Yeah, they have a lot of fake ass prison shows and shit in the US that kind of show
I don't even know if they're I don't feel like they're
it's just
per se real.
I look at the way that Germany is, like, I'm not scared to go to prison in Germany because it's more of a rehabilitative, like you said, thing, like where it's like a rehabilitative thing where I go in, like I would if I did something wrong, I know I'm going to go in, serve my time, and come out probably a better person than when I went in. Whereas in America, if I go to jail, I'm either going to come out worse or I'm never going to come out or I'm going to die.
Yeah,
it's a cesspool because of the lack of I don't know. I just think it doesn't get enough. Like, there's not enough people looking at it. You know what I mean? And I hate to sound. I don't hate to sound like no. Yeah, that's just my opinion, man. I feel like it is something that needs to be looked at. People make mistakes. Now, granted, murders and shit like that, throw them under the fucking bus. I could give a shit less. But don't commit someone to a life of prison or some kind of horrifying situation like that because there was a victimless crime. You know what I mean? Most people don't go to fucking prison like that for victimless crimes. But there are some states which have like a 3-strike rule. You steal a car 3 times, you're in jail for fucking, I don't know, God knows how long, minimum sentence type shit, like 10 years, 15 years. Like, that's fucking ridiculous, dude. And then not to mention the people that are in there for weed crimes. Like, give me a fucking break. you got these people in there fighting for their life day in and day out because they fucking smoked a joint.
I once read an article about a woman who was like in I think she was late 20s to early 30s. She had 3 kids, and she got caught in a traffic stop. I think it was a traffic stop. I'm kind of paraphrasing a little bit because I haven't researched this. I'm just fucking trying to do it off the top of my head. But I'm pretty sure that she got arrested in the States in a traffic stop. She had a certain amount of marijuana on her, and she got put away for quite some time and had 3 kids taken off her, and kids were put into care homes. Like, the profound effect that now has on them children's lives.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And there's the other case, the famous case, the lad who was put away for having marijuana on him and then put in prison. He had like a milk allergy. The prison were like, fucking suck it up, bitch. Gave him some milk and then he died. The fuck?
That's extreme.
That's insane.
That's very.
I don't know if
very,
I'm on the
very
if I'm
small
on the
percentage.
button or on the topic there. I'm not sure. But
my whole thing is like, I don't know, what I see in the U.S. is what I hear say, right? So I've had a couple people that go to prison for like 5-6 years for doing like Grand Theft Auto and breaking into banks or whatever, you know what I mean? And they came out and they said, when I was in there, blah blah blah, I met people in the same type of field, if you call it that, as me. And I actually grew smarter while I was in prison because I talked to these people and figured out how to do it better and how to not to get caught and what their mistakes were and not how to not get the same mistakes again. And they turned out now to be career criminals. It's like, so I don't know. It's hard, man. I think once your mind's made up of what you want to be, you're going to be that. And I have a hard time saying put them in jail forever and also rehabilitate them back into society. I have a very hard time because it depends. It's a case by case. It really is. And thank God we have a system where it is a case by case decision, but you have to go in specifics with a lot of them. So it's a very hard thing to discuss fully. I can only broadly state, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't have any experience with prison or jail or anything like that.
I do have a good friend who did. If you want to hear it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, one of my closest friends, when he was 17, he'd just finished learning to drive, drink driving with his pals in the car, overtaking someone on a corner, and hit an oncoming car. And there was an old dude in it. I think the dude was like in his 60s or something. Anyway, he got done for drink driving, got arrested for it, got fucking punished, whatever. That old guy then died from the wounds from the accident, like 3 months later. So the police came knocking at his door, arrested him for manslaughter. He was 17 at the time, so he got put in a young offenders institute. And he is a good. He made some stupid decisions, but he's a good dude. He is a very close friend of mine. He's the godparent to my children. I fucking trust the guy. He's a good dude. But I remember him saying that time he spent at a young offenders institute shaped him into the person he is today. It taught him so much about being an adult because of the people that he was in there sharing with, and the people he didn't necessarily share that sort of mindset with. Young lads that were in there for violent crimes that just wanted to fucking scrap all the time, or thought like the way to answer a problem was to, I don't know, put a chair across someone's head or something. That's not him as a person. So he said it kind of shaped him as the person he is today, and he is a good guy. He is a very good guy.
Hell yeah.
I think there is some sort of reform there, right?
Tough love reform, but yeah, it's there.
Yeah, it's the prison system in America is a lot different, I feel, than it is in most countries.
So how's it
Or-
work in the States?
lot
Can
of-
anyone
other
brief it
countries.
down for me, maybe, or is it something I have to look into?
Probably.
It-
I don't know
Well,
much
jail,
about it. But...
prison,
It-
and federal prisons, all three
It
different
would
things.
have to be something that we would have to do some kind of research on because we don't. Me personally, I couldn't give you
No.
a breakdown of it.
Okay.
I just know there's jail, which is
There's
like
a lot of
you get picked up for like being drunk in public. You go to the slam bar, they throw you in the little cage, and you sleep it off, and you're released
Slam
basically the
bar
next
sounds
day.
like fun to me. The bar, let's go. Let's go. So
And then
slamming
prisons
shot
like
is, well, no.
prisons like you stole a car for the first time and you're doing a year to 2 years, and then you have like your maximum facilities where you've done anything from armed robbery to murder to like rape. There's so many things, and then you have like
The real
federal
bad
prison
shit.
where you've broken into I don't know. It's so different. It's weird. Our system is definitely broken up to a lot different parts than a lot of the other countries. I think it's a lot more simple in a lot of the countries. But here in Germany, most of these dudes get out on the weekend. If they do good in jail, they can go out on the weekend and they go back to prison Monday. So it's really weird to me to think that you're in jail, but Saturday, Sunday you can go to the bars and hang out. Like it's mind blowing to me. It really is.
All right.
But anyway,
So that's jail, prison, and jail. Who is doing the next one?
I'll do the next one.
Oh yeah.
believe it is. Is it? Yeah, it's Jake, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a sec. Let me do a thing. And you are good to go in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So my rant is going to be about the lockdown, specifically because of this Corona shit, and I'm fucking tired of it. Nothing makes me madder than doing the same shit every week, every day. Not every week, but every day. You know what I mean? Sitting there and trying to find out some different shit to do with my kids during the week, during the day. Open it the fuck up is what I'm trying to say. I don't have a problem wearing a mask anywhere. You know what I mean? We can wear a mask. The mask is supposed to protect us. I don't have a problem keeping my distance from people. I don't like being within fucking arm's reach of anybody anyways. There's fucking goddamn I believe in personal space. You can thank me for your service if you want. Double arm interval. You know what I mean? Fucking if you're within arm's reach, you're too fucking close to me. All right. So especially over here in Germany. I don't want to say Europe, but I will definitely speak from experience here in Germany. You can smell when somebody is not using deodorant. If I can smell you, you're too fucking close, and that's not even to say part of the lockdown or the coronavirus or anything like that. You know what I mean? But you're supposed to, per the regulations, keep a distance. But it's fucking horrid. All right. Being on lockdown in a house or a small apartment, which I live in with my kids, it's driving me insane. It really is. I can't take I can only take my kids to the park that is in the area. We're not allowed to go outside our surrounding areas, which there's only 1, 2, maybe 3 parks we're allowed to go to where I live. We can't do play dates with our kids. It goes on with the whole our kids need fucking social interactions. They need to play with other kids. They need to know They need to learn how to be social with other kids. Good example of why this is so a story to tell. I have a friend, him and his wife and their son went to go out to eat, went to go grab some food to eat, whatever. And in their area, it's not really close. They came out here and they wanted to get something because it is the best around. And they were almost ticketed 500 euros, which you can do the math or whatever you need to do, figure out what it is in your respective countries. But they almost got this ticket because they decided that because they got something to eat and they sat down at a bench, which there wasn't a lot of people around. And some fucking goddamn cops decided they wanted to come up, and because they can, they just walk up and be like, "Yo, give me 500 euros, and you won't get a ticket, or your ticket is 500 euros. Pay it now." So I think it's fucking bullshit. Open up the world. You know what I mean? Let me take my kid to an amusement park. Let me take my kid to a zoo. I can't tell you how many times my son has asked me, "Papa, when are we going to go to an aquarium?" Because my son is fascinated with marine life and anything that has to do with water. Anything that has to do with dinosaurs, anything that has to do with water, he's fucking fascinated by it. Let us go to fucking Legoland. Let us go to fucking Disneyland. Let us do anything. You know what I mean? Follow specific rules in order to get us out of our homes. Let us out. It's just and if you want to go off the numbers, right? So I looked this up a little bit. There's 119 million cases worldwide, and you can do the percentages yourself. 2.4 million have died. 109 out of that 119 million. 200. Excuse me.
You're over 5 minutes, but let's keep going.
All right, 2.64 million have died. Do the math. It's fucking ridiculous. Let me take my kids somewhere that they want to go. I'm done.
Agreed.
Very well spoken. Very well. Concentrated.
Maintained your composure throughout the entire 5-minute rant.
Much better than last week's, I can tell you that.
Quick question.
Great.
Yeah.
Did you see us?
I could see you for about a quarter of it, and then I decided that I wouldn't been able to keep my composure, so I minimized you.
You piece of shit.
Yeah, no way, dude.
Watched it.
I saw.
Good.
If you guys could have seen what was happening behind the scenes, there was so much
Oh,
going on. We were so busy.
So much.
I think I
busy.
got a nipple. I think I got a couple of stuff like that. You know, he was.
I must have deep throated my vape 100 times. Josh
Yeah.
damn near put his microphone completely up his ass.
I did put it up my ass.
Yeah,
dethroned.
Yeah.
He did. He just let it out.
I couldn't keep you guys up, and I wanted to.
Everyone,
this
these
was-
guys got to see my personal details.
Everything.
Man,
We saw
I would
everything
like,
jiggling.
I would like to see that after stream. But this hits me so hard that I just feel like, fuck, man, it's fucking
It's hard, man.
stupid.
No, it is. I agree 100%.
And it is. It's fucking hard
Well,
because
the
I
thing
love
is-
my kids, but being trapped in a fucking house with them 24/7, not being able to take them to anywhere different,
Mhm.
fucking kills me.
Like,
you know,
like my
in
kids
the
have been
UK
talking about the bouncy houses all the time. They
Oh
go,
my
"Hey,
God, Mia
when
would
can we go
fucking
with
love
Jake and Rob to the bouncy house to hang out with the kids?" They want to go to the bouncy house so fucking bad. If you guys know what the bouncy house is, it's a big, huge playground for the kids where we go. It's amazing, and we go there, and us boys, we drink a beer, we hang out, we play cards, we play Magic, we bullshit. It's a great for us.
Wait, you
for
can
one.
do magic? How did you just skip over the fact you can do fucking magic?
Listen, don't worry about it, bro. So
I mean,
anyway,
he means we play Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
Let's keep it real.
Gathering.
That's
Yeah.
some nerd shit. I don't care
Magic,
about that.
All right,
colon,
motherfucker.
gathering. So no, but it's
Rob, you ain't
not
gonna
only good for
impress
the
me.
it's not only good for the kids, but it's
don't know
also
what that
good
is.
for us. Oh, it's magic.
You're
Oh,
welcome.
shit, where did it go?
You're
It's in his
welcome.
other hand. He's just put it on the floor.
Damn,
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
Ready,
come
watch. I
on,
did
dude.
this.
It's gone.
What the
Oh no!
fuck?
It's almost like he's just put it on the
He
floor
didn't
when he
have
put
it.
his hand up to fucking come on. Dude. Okay.
No, I didn't, dude. It was here, idiot.
But no, but honestly, but honestly, it's not only good for the kids, but it's also good for us as well as adults to get our kids away from us,
Yeah.
and then we're able to focus and do society things ourselves. Socialize ourselves, not society things, but socialize ourselves. But yeah, my kids have been asking for I don't know what 6 months now, and it's really like irritating for me to hear that.
Is it this
Yeah,
side?
it's fucking it's just fucking hard. Because I don't want to yell at my kids and keep telling them not to do that inside the house when they could be doing that outside.
Exactly.
Abel doesn't know what an inside voice is, and I'm trying to teach him what an inside voice is. Dude, let's go, and we can go to the park, you know what I mean? It's the same fucking park
Yeah.
where all his friends are and everything like that. But for me, it's doing the same tedious thing every day in and day out.
It's hard,
And a lot of
man,
people,
but
yeah,
is
and
it-
a lot of
is it-
and a lot of people will say, "Oh, but you play video games every day. You play the same video games every day." Yeah, but it's
but
not
you
the
have the
same.
choice.
Not only do I have the choice, but I don't play the same video games every day. As a matter of fact, since I've started hanging out with these three right here, I have probably played more video games than I have in my entire fucking life.
No, I think the choice is a big thing. Like being able to have that freedom of mind and being saying, I could do this, but I'm not. I'm going to do this instead.
Yeah,
I do think it is.
I feel like, and I'll use a perfect analogy for any married men out there. It feels much better to clean the house and then your wife comes home and it's like, holy shit, you clean the house, than to have your wife say,
clean the house.
Can you clean the house?
I agree. Yeah.
And then you clean the house.
I think that's a good
100%.
Free will is a fucking serious thing.
100%.
And what the fucked up part is it's not working. Like this was supposed to be a small. Well, okay,
No,
in
it's
our area,
not.
it has gotten 100. We are worse here, and we're about to go on lockdown again.
Yep.
But everybody's wearing their masks.
Just
everybody's fucking.
It's not everybody. It's
for
not
clarification,
everybody.
you're
though.
in. What part of the world you in? Just for
Bavaria.
clarification.
We're in Bavaria, Germany.
Bavaria. Yeah, your exact postcode. No, I'm kidding. In Bavaria in Germany. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So in the
Bavaria,
UK, it's hard, man, because.
Yeah, so hold on. So I gotta say this. So it comes out to personal account too, because I've actually had this argument with my older brother.
Are you getting shorter, Jake?
I didn't think that was possible.
Yeah, I thought he was already short enough.
Actually, fuck you guys. I will fight any single.
When you can join the 6 foot and buff family,
all right, you're barely in it.
I stopped
barely. I'm halfway to 6'1".
No, but it's personal accountability is what it is. Thank you for my service, but that's exactly what it is, because that 3 months that fucking, I would say that 3 months that we started this fucking lockdown bullshit, Germany killed it, right? We did amazing. Numbers were fucking super goddamn low, all that bullshit, right? So we'll give an example. I actually did a little bit of research on this. New Zealand has almost damn near fucking killed it. It's non-existent in New Zealand, and that's
We're
because
in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Not only that, it's fucking a lot of the Asian countries too, and I say Asian as in the Asia countries, the countries in Asia who
including Russia.
I fucking hate you. Not to include Russia, but those countries that have
They're
fucking
an Asian country.
Half. Half of them's in the EU.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, you guys lost my time. I lost my time.
I know. That's what I was trying to do.
All right. So New Zealand has fucking killed it because the personal accountability that the individual has in order to not only think of their own welfare, but think of the other person's welfare to their left and to their right. Thank you for my service. But so they fucking did a lockdown, and they fucking damn near. It's not fucking. It's. I think I don't know how long ago it was, but there was. I just saw a video that said that New Zealand had no new cases, and if you can fucking show me any other country that has no new cases, then I will.
Can I
I'll
put this
go ahead.
into perspective
Yep.
next?
Yep.
Like from my point of view, from where I am. So, like right now in England, just England, not including Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, in the last 14 days, we've altogether since this whole shite started, we've had 3.72 million cases and
Holy shit.
110,000 deaths. Right now, they are some pretty big numbers. They are scary numbers. There's been bigger pandemics. There has. Don't get me wrong, but we live in a more in a more free-flowing world now where more people are in more places doing more shit together, right?
Absolutely.
Historically speaking. So, I think the lockdown thing is good. I fucking hate it. It's dog shit. I am a musician. Everyone check out Sertraline. We're a metal band. We're awesome. Anyway, just
they are fucking awesome.
Quick hapless plug. I think it's a good thing. It fucks a lot of industries, fucks a lot of business and whatnot. Now, we're starting to relax things, kind of like month by month now, as of April, depending on how the numbers are, is what our Prime Minister said. But one thing he also said is that we can't go on like this. For the future of this country and the future of the people of this country, we can't go on like this. And people will die. And more people will die, and it will fucking happen. But we need to start thinking about the future. And I sort of agree with that. A lot of people are like, oh, he doesn't give a fuck about people dying, and it doesn't affect
I agree with survival of the fittest, but how would you feel if it was one of your kids?
Then...
Or if it was your mom. Or if it was... excuse me, your mum. Or if it was your dad.
I'd be heartbroken. You know what I mean? I would be heartbroken. Dude, I'd be fucking destroyed, and it would.
I'd be destroyed too if they had cancer and died.
And it would, man. It would fucking end me. It really would.
If they get hit by a drunk driver, then the very next night,
I hate to say it. I've lived through. My sister passed away when I was young. I've lived through that. But one thing I've learned from that is that life does go on. Just because that person's dead, that's not the end of all life on Earth. That's not the end of my life. That's not the end of my children's life. It's not the end of the future generations' lives. And that's where I stand on it.
Yeah. But there are new cases.
I'm with you on that.
By the way, it's a total of 15 cases associated with the February cluster. It's only been like 2,000 something, which is fucking 2,066 confirmed cases in New Zealand, which is fucking mental how they kept that shit under wraps compared to the rest of the world. It's incredible to them. Applause to them.
Yeah, I think it's not only because they cut their entire country off of people coming in and or out of it, but it's also because they took personal responsibility on let's fucking all stay at home.
Yep.
Fucking people who need to work, go to fucking work. Everybody else, stay your dumb ass at home and don't be a fucking idiot.
And everybody there scans the QR codes on if they get on transportation, if they go into in any stores or wherever they go, they have to scan themselves in stating, I've been here at this exact time. Which I think is half and half for me. It's who's collecting that information and who are they selling it to.
Again, as we said last week, it's the interpretation of information, and none of us, we all agreed. We did all, I think we all agreed. I may have been
What, the Big Brother?
Yeah, that it's down to the I may be wrong, but it's down to the interpretation of information. Who's interpreting that information? Am I right?
Exactly.
Did we all agree on that?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So none of us know who that is.
Exactly. No. And I guarantee you, they don't even know. The people that are having collected information are selling it to these people, and they're selling to somebody, and they're taking it, and nobody really knows where it's going to end up,
Yeah.
and who knows what it's going to be
So
used
as
as.
Bella said, Bella's mentioned in chat, I was going to say this earlier when talking about mental health. As gamers, we are very content with staying at our PCs, playing video games or watching Twitch or whatever, but knowing we can not go out and do anything, that is what is making lockdown harder on us, I think. And I agree. As Rob said before, it's the freedom of choice. It's the freedom of having the choice is...
You still want to play video games or not?
It's kind of what embraces freedom itself, right? It's not necessarily saying I'm going to go and do this. It's saying I can do this if I want to. But how quickly, and I've seen this in a couple. I'm a big Joe Rogan fan. I've seen this in a couple of his podcasts. Like, a lot of people have kind of forgotten how quickly them freedoms have gone.
Disappear.
Yep.
They've gone.
Well, especially for us.
And we have no say in the matter. And maybe in this situation, okay, it might be necessary.
I haven't forgotten.
It may be necessary in this
Take free
situation
service.
for the greater
I remember
good.
the Alamo Pops.
It may be
He's
for
probably
the,
already shit.
It may be for the greater
shit-faced,
good
so.
in this situation, but one thing we know from history is governments fucking learn. And if
Yes.
governments will never learn that. Mind you, I bet they all drink really fucking expensive whiskeys, them motherfuckers.
Bastards.
I'm sure they
Yeah,
do, right? I think I paid 70 euros for that one, and they're probably paying upwards of like 200 for theirs.
They're on them fucking 32-year Balmores. That's what they're on. Them
Oh.
fucking 1600
Yeah,
quid
with that 1,600 quid, yeah.
But we all know, as I was saying, we all know how quickly these governments evolve and learn, and how much shit moves on to the next government, and especially in our country. I don't know about the US or in Germany, but I speak for the UK. But you know, how long is it before they find another reason to go? You've all got to stay at home now because of whatever shit they're doing. That's the conspiracy-ish theorist in me going, this has been a bit too easy, almost. But as I always say, behind every conspiracy, there's at least one bit of truth. So
fucking OG Hendo says liberals don't drink whiskey.
yeah. No, fuck off, I'm OG.
Well,
Don't drink whiskey.
yeah,
They on them spritzers.
Smudge sticks.
You know, smudge stick. The spritzers, you know, the white wine with a bit of lemonade in, just to take the edge off.
yeah.
Like the White Claws.
White Claw.
So okay,
Yo,
hold on.
is hang on, wait, is White Claw any good?
Yeah.
I've never tried one.
I love it, dude. Ain't no laws when you're drinking claws, bud.
You are a goddamn white girl drinking goddamn pumpkin
Goddamn
spice
right.
and shit.
Yeah, I'm
First off,
down.
pumpkin spice is fucking delicious.
You're disgusting, and I hate you.
I don't know what that is either. We have Lambrini, and
Oh my God.
the tagline was Lambrini girls like to have fun. And I had a party trick of being able to down a whole bottle of Lambrini.
Hold on. So I
had
have
loads of
to.
But yeah,
I
I
gotta
need some
throw it-
White Claws.
I
If
have-
anyone
I have
wants
to
to
throw
send me
it-
White Claws, send them to me.
I have to throw a disclaimer out there because Top Whiskey, the Top Whiskey mod did say, but if you had a positive test and then died from something within 10 days, they classified you as a COVID victim. Those numbers that I threw out were not 100%. All right.
They were
Just
Google
to put that
numbers.
out there. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
Googled numbers.
Yeah. Same with mine. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I agree as well. I mean, yeah, COVID's kind of hard thing because it's new anyway. I mean, epidemics and stuff like that isn't something that's new, but at the same time, it's a new type of thing and a new type of age with new people and new. It's you know what I'm saying.
I identified the
It's
biggest.
very hard.
I had identified the biggest, most important problem out of this whole pandemic today, and
What was
this is groundbreaking. And this will blow your mind.
Okay. I'm listening.
So, as of today, the government in the UK is now backed, and there is going to be a national day of like remembrance and service of the start of COVID. As of every year, it's going to be the 23rd of March. It's my fucking birthday.
Oh,
fucking
fucking shit.
COVID day.
Motherfucker.
No way.
No,
Got 'em.
that is my birthday. That is not COVID day.
That's
That
not
is
COVID day from
yeah.
now on.
Yeah.
No,
That is
no.
COVID. That is
That is
COVID
Dan
day from
Henderson's
now on.
birthday.
Fuck your birthday.
No.
Now it is COVID day.
It's Dan Henderson's birthday. Okay. Unlucky COVID, Dan. Fuck you. Right.
Holy shit. So, top whiskey mod, Mad Dog
Dan, check,
2020 was
Discord.
that was my shit when I was
Mad
in high
Dog
school.
was so good.
MD 2020. Did you guys have that?
Yeah.
fuck
Oh
yeah.
god, yeah. Mad
International.
Dog 2020, bro.
Mad
I
Dog.
remember. I remember. I remember.
Fucking cool.
Mad Dog,
Mad
dude.
Dog.
Yeah.
Mad Dog 2020.
I think I was like
It's just
16. I think I was 16 years old, and I was at a party at my cousin at my cousin's house. I'm not.
That's my new
I
favorite
don't
thing.
condone underage drinking. I was 16 years old at my cousin's house, and I drank, and I shit you not. And I had drinking before, so I knew how much I could drink.
Hey,
I literally drank less than
Right.
a bottle, and it made me sick. And
Yeah,
I
they're
will
too
never,
sweet.
and I will never drink Mad Dog again.
That's
It's
cool.
like
It's like old English.
fucking Four Locos. Remember those?
Oh my
I
god,
do- I
no.
do.
No,
I do.
two of those,
Death in a
you were
can.
fucking done.
Bro, I've never been more drunk and awake and weird and about to die than I've had when I had like 3-4 Locos one night, and I was like, okay,
yeah, well,
this
3
is
or
normal.
4 logos. Jeez, I made
Yeah.
it through 2, and I was like, I'm fucking dead.
I thought I was gonna fucking
right.
die.
All right.
You're-
Who's next up on the chopping block?
You're only 5'9", though, Josh, so we
Uh,
can understand that, dude. I love you, I'm kidding. You know, you're 6 definitely.
Josh is
Did-
6
did you
foot.
read
I
Discord?
measured him.
Right.
You guys reading the Discord chat as well, right?
It's up to you, Josh. Let's go.
I think we can hold them off till next week because we're getting a
Yeah,
little bit late on
me,
this one.
Yeah.
me
so I'm gonna
and
be,
Dan next week.
I'm gonna do mine. I think I'm ready. I think I'm gonna try and freestyle it a little bit. So let's give it a go. Right, mine this week is controversial as ever, because that's what I like. Policing social media, and should it be policed, and who by? So we touched on it earlier when we were talking about social media, about I touched on it, the responsibility that social media has because of the reach that they have. The millions, or I think billions now, of people that use social media, I think they have a duty of care to their users, right? And that's purely because the product that they have is encompassed by so many people. There's so many consequences to the messages that are put out, to the information that's put out to children down to the age of what was it, 13? I think some of the platforms, they are still children. They're teenagers, but to me they're still children. I was a child when I was 13. I didn't know shit when I was 13, and I think I'm just about to understand what's going on now. So further on that, the responsibility that they have is from a morality perspective. Like me as a person, I don't expect everyone to be like me, and I might not be 100%. Yeah, 3.96 billion people use social media worldwide. That's fucking ridiculous. That's more than some of the biggest products in the world, maybe. You know? So to me, they have a duty of care to them users, and the information that they read, and the protection to how they perceive it, right? Which some people will say is down to the person that's perceiving it, but you need to cater for that. You have to be able to cater for that when something's that big. Alright? How it affects people on a grand scale. Now,
Something's that big.
What are you doing? You fucking lunatic. So this is something that's going to shock you a little bit. And they might have just taken the wind out of the sails a little bit from that little laughter. So, back in like 2018, there was a genocide in Myanmar against a group of people known as the Rohingya, which were predominantly Muslim. how the opposition were Buddhist. And there was a lot of mobile phones sold in Myanmar, which were preloaded with Facebook. And Facebook was used to push political, maybe a political agenda, but also an Islamophobic agenda to a group of people. Now, there might be people watching the stream that might not agree with the religion of Islam. But I think I can happily say that, especially in this group, we can all agree that we have the freedom to believe and do what we want within reason. So with that, these people were persecuted because of their religion. They were exiled from the country. They were killed. Up to some 24,000 people. None of us know 24,000 people. 24,000 people is a sum. I've been to Download Festival, and that's 30,000 people, and that's a large amount of that people, of a representation of how many people were killed to me. That's how I see it. As the majority of the people at that festival were killed because of something they believe in, because of information or disinformation spread on a social media platform. So using that as an example, how does it affect people on a grand scale? So to me, if social media is not policed enough, and there isn't a sort of a cosh put on it to say you can't post this information because it's dangerous and it affects the lives of some other people or another sect of people or people that believe in something else that differs to you, I think is definitely a good thing. Because people will think it'll limit our freedom to say what we want and do what I want, but it won't. It'll enforce the freedom to be able to say and do what we want. I don't mean in terms of if me or you or anyone else turns around and says that I think these people are bad because they believe in this God. I think these people are bad because they believe in X, Y, and Z. Me or you saying it doesn't influence anything. But news and media affect people. If it comes from a source that can appear as credible, then it's a problem, right? I mean, I think that is open to debate, definitely. But to me, my opinion is that it's a huge problem. Because if enough sources get behind it, or if there's people out there that can pose as a credible source, 24,000 more people might die because of one simple thing. And that's basically because of someone they worship that is not affecting you and is completely outside of your realm of what you perceive as your world. I genuinely think there needs to be a governing body of an international respect, and not just one person or a group of people, but I think it's upon us as humans to police.
That's 5 minutes, brother.
To police social media. Discuss.
Discuss. So gentle.
Discuss. Fucking police the goddamn social media up. It's up to us, basically.
99 cents per month.
Is that what you're saying? 99 cents, Josh. That's too fucking much, bro. I'm not paying 99. You know what? I know I said earlier that I was gonna pay. I would pay 99 cents.
Before we
but
go
I'm not
on,
paying fucking 99 cents.
Top Whiskey Mod has got. I sent him. I think 4 different sources. Relatively credible. They're not right wing. They're not left wing. They've all got. They've all got like something to spin because it's media, right? They've all got their own fucking agendas to spin.
Right.
But
right.
I live off the rule: if you pick maybe 4 or 5 sources and read between the lines and read it a couple of times, don't just read it and take it verbatim and then fucking move on, and do a bit of research, you'll see that this is a real thing that happened, And I'm using this as an example of why I think it should be policed. Discuss.
Disgust.
I got nothing to discuss. I mean, you said it pretty blatant.
I think your
it's very
point of
hard.
view is going to be the exact same as mine. I'm not. I mean,
Yeah.
I've literally have nothing to argue against that.
No.
Literally, I
can't
have
even think of
nothing.
one.
I cannot say anything to.
Who do you think should police it?
Oh well, so
That's a
that is a
fucking-
fucking goddamn conundrum in itself. That's a paradigm in itself. That's a paradox. That is a paradox.
Should it be up to a voting type system then between
This is dangerous fucking water.
A voting
Yeah.
type
Spreading
system,
voice.
or should it be? Don't fucking flip me off. That was inadvertent.
No, okay. So wherever the company presides at, so if it's a U.S. company, then or if it's a UK company, or it's a Iraqi company, who knows? You know what I mean? There's a lot of innovators out there. But anyway, making these apps and these social media platforms, right? So I think wherever it resides at should be the picking choice of how they do it. Like China with what's their app that everybody likes, TikTok, right? Yeah. They should be the ones to decide on their own app. But in the US, I think it should come down to a vote in each state of what is regulated.
I think the voting in the U.S. is just fucking bullshit. So no.
Yeah, well,
See, I think we should have a representative from every country in the world.
Like NATO, almost.
I was gonna say like NATO.
No,
that works
because not every country in the world is involved in NATO. If I
No,
remember
but a lot
rightly.
of them were. A lot of the big powers
We should
were.
have a government representative from every country in the world, and when a problem is brought to light, they should vote on it.
I would
That's how
love
think it
that.
should be done.
I would love that, honestly, but that'll never happen.
I
Why?
can't.
Why? It should be done. It's the biggest money earner and the biggest.
I cannot disagree with that.
If that can be done, then how can we not agree to all have the exact same money and the exact same economy? If
So
that
then-
can be done, then why can't we move on to that?
So then, in
In a perfect world.
I'm gonna throw. Yeah, there is no such
There's
thing
no
as a perfect world.
But we're
That's
not
why it
talking
couldn't
about
happen.
a perfect world. We're thinking about something that exists purely because of us. So why can't we fucking police it?
Yeah, we're humans, so how come we can't police ourselves? It's never going to happen.
Because we are humans. That's why. That's
Yeah.
what exactly what it means to be human.
No,
I agree with you on a lot of your points.
As of today,
It's being taken too fucking literal and too deep. It's a program that someone's fucking created that's got a massive percentage of the world uses. Why the fuck can't we police it?
Yeah, well, if I can't say hi, sir, without getting in trouble,
It's because there's
then
too
you can't
much
police it.
fucking money being made, and people don't want to take fucking accountability and responsibility over it.
or
That's
is it
why.
because they don't want to have to pay somebody to do that much work, or they don't want to have to pay that many people to do that much work?
They're already
Because
being
in order-
paid?
Nobody
They're
wants to take
because-
responsibility for
No,
it.
Yes.
Well, I
they're
mean, I
already
wouldn't-
being paid. If they were to do it that way, they're already being paid by government. Sorry to cut you off, Jake. Sorry.
No, you're good. But so you would have to get the actual workforce in order to do that, because obviously one person couldn't do it. It would be impossible for one person to do.
Yeah.
You would have to hire.
even hundreds.
You would have to make a company that would hire multiple hundreds, if not more than hundreds.
And then you have to
No.
discriminate which country they come from, how many of those
Exactly.
countries get
Yeah,
in there,
Then you
what's
have
the
to do
influence,
background.
who's the leader? Oh, the leader's from the U.S. Oh, well,
Then
that's
you
not
have to
good.
then you have to do background checks on which person
Well,
comes in and how much money that actually
That's-
how
yeah,
much money you would have to spend in order to do that is incomprehensible.
But let's look at it this way. There's 195 countries in the world, right?
Sovereign nations or countries?
But there's some countries that don't use the facilities. So China,
Well,
for
who's-
example, don't use the facilities. So why do they? And do you know what that would do? That would cut down on the amount of outside party influence that's being put
but
on
who's gonna
social
run it?
media.
Who's going to run it? Which country?
Nobody needs to run it. It needs to be done democratically.
Oh, so just solely on people, relying on people to just randomly do it without leadership telling them to do it?
No. what needs to happen is every country, if it's getting that big and it's that much of a thing, every single country needs to have a representative in that area. So like I don't want to say social media representative, but if that's what it's got to be, that's what it's got to fucking be. But like a digital media representative, every single country
To put a
has.
name on it, basically.
Yeah. And if a problem is brought to light about a certain country, so let's say a story is being spun in America that's questionable, that's being argued about, that's got a lot of views, a lot of likes, but is also like, the facts of this story are not quite right, and it's gaining traction, then it needs to be brought to that party. That party then vote on whether they think it's just or not, and then there's the outcome. That's how I think it should be done.
So hold on. So what are they voting on?
They're voting on whether that should be a thing that should be posted and shown to the masses that are on social media.
But that'll never work.
So
Why?
then, if you get so then, all right. So then, if there is, well, so you are I think you might be misunderstanding how
honest and
humans-
truthful people that don't need money.
So they're not. So not everybody is like and I want to say not everybody in chat, but I want to say everybody is not like us. And Rob, fucking goddamn, I'm drunk. Not everybody is like us, Dan. Not everybody will tell the truth. Yeah, thank you. Not everybody will tell the truth. Not everybody has that sense of morality or that sense of right and wrong.
But why not? Is that not a basic human instinct?
Because
nowadays?
Influence.
Because there is to put on what Mogo to put what Josh has said. Fucking there is influence. Religion bases an influence. A lot of your upbringing bases an influence.
Your government itself.
Well, I mean, I don't.
Companies that want this out there are going to try to buy you out. There's so many outside influences that it's not possible to do it in a world that has no vacuum. We don't live in this vacuumless world where everything's equal. It's not possible. If that was the case, we'd all be one nation under whatever
we would be one world.
Yeah, but
one world, one
nation. We would be one world.
Social media.
I wouldn't say you're Chinese. I wouldn't say this. We'd be all the same thing.
You're going too far into it.
No, because we have that in the US, right?
Social media does not represent us as a world or as a nation.
I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. So the US, we have the Senate. The Senate comes together with how many representatives, whatever it is, in the Senate House, right? They all come together, right? And they discuss things. Before, I think it was everybody just came together, discussed everything, but somebody had to take charge to be able to take those voices and be able to make sure that everybody had their say in things properly and judicially, right? So there had to be a leader. So we invoked, okay, there's a chairman. So the chairman is the guy that everybody goes, hey, I don't agree with what he's saying. Can you stop it, please? And he goes, well, by this date, he's able to say that, but okay, continue. So there has to be some type of structure. You can't just let people free willy agree. No, in my country, we say no. And then in the next country, they say, oh, no. And then in the next country, they say no. And then yes.
But then it goes down to the majority vote. Is that not what democracy is about?
Yeah, but think about how many Western countries there are compared to these.
You also
let's just
are
say Eastern
how
countries.
Humanity works. People can be bought out regardless.
Yeah, but that's why it needs to.
But let's say that doesn't even happen.
That's why it needs to be protected and vetted properly.
Isn't that where every country in the Western world is?
Yeah, but you
it's
also
still bought
have to
out.
take someone's word on it, and not everyone's word is worth as much as, for instance, not everyone's.
So you're telling me the majority out of them 195 people, the representative from each country, give or take some for the countries that don't use the facilities, could sway that because of what's the word? Corruption.
Yes, and let's say there's no
because
corruption.
Humans can be corrupted.
The majority of the countries in this world are corrupt. The governments and the majority in this world.
Yeah, absolutely,
100%.
Absolutely.
But let's just take that out of the category. Let's say there's no corrupt people at all like that, right? But you still have, like Jake was saying, you still have religious bias. You still have my country first bias. You still have upbringing of their families bias. So out of all these countries, let's say the U.S. put up a post and they wanted to make this a post and everybody had to vote on it, right? How many countries would say yes to that actually like the U.S. and they think the U.S. is a good country? There's more to say yes than there is to say no. So the U.S. would always have their posts posted.
And I knew this point was going to come during one of these podcasts, and it happens to be the 3rd episode. But you were looking at this from a very, very narrow American point of view. There is a lot of people in this world, in every single country in this world, that are extremely educated, well educated above anything we can fucking fathom. And it's people like that we need to police this.
And that's most of them are politicians nowadays.
No,
you forget about
not.
that.
You're forgetting
the very educated Harvard, Stanford people.
You're forgetting one crucial part, Dan. They're fucking human.
They are human.
They are human. They can be
human.
Even if they were bots, it'd be the same thing. Even if they were bots, it'd be the same thing.
Not every human can be bought.
So forget it.
I didn't say bot. Corrupted.
Not every human can be corrupted. I do not believe that.
Well, I could be if you had my family threatened.
I cannot be corrupted.
You tell me right now,
able to save them.
Your child, you could not be corrupted.
Say again.
If someone stole your child, if someone stole your little boy or your little girl or even your wife,
yeah,
you could not be corrupted. You could your vote would not be swayed.
Nope.
You're saying that
if all you had to do is say yes.
You're saying you would let your child 100%. Die.
If there was a greater good for it, that meant my opinion meant the greater good for the rest of humanity.
I love you.
It cannot. It fucking cannot. You. Because there is more. There is. I love my children and my wife unendingly.
I believe you.
Right. But if my opinion alone and my vote alone meant the greater good of humanity, I cannot be corrupted.
So here's the thing. I'll put it out right now.
So you're saying only if you were that last vote.
If I was that last man, that meant the greater good of humanity. No.
But you wouldn't be, because nobody would know the votes until the very end, so you wouldn't know that. So if that's how you really want to play it, but if China put out a post that said "fuck the UK," we should demolish the UK, and you had to vote on that, what would you sway towards? Yes or no?
I'd be like, "Fuck you, China, come get some."
Well, there's 4 right here.
You're fucking corrupted.
There's 4 votes right here. Just in our little circle, that would have said no to that.
Y'all putting a lot of power in social media, man.
I am putting a lot of power in social media, Rob, but I don't give it too long before they have that power. You heard it here first.
I think.
Well, yeah.
All right, so I've been listening, and I think that
you've been quiet. I want to hear it.
From a realistic point of view of what could actually be fathomable or whatever.
Yeah, that's correct word.
Yeah, so it might not be, but
it is.
You've got first off, you say there's a lot of smart people that can do this, but what makes it so that we know? What if they don't want to do it? Like, what if they say no? Then what? Like,
Then we find the next one because there's more than one.
Right, but this is where you have to the future. In my opinion, the future is in, like I said before, what they use now, just better algorithms, things that are catching these crazy fucking topics and hot points like this.
But they are going to do that.
But each country's different. They already do that. In Al Jazeera TV, they put out their own news. In CNN, they put out their own news. And Fox, they have
so you want to silence them because they don't agree with your...
You decide which
opinion.
TV to watch.
No, I want to silence them if what they're inciting is fucking hatred towards people. In general,
so we just want to incite. We just want to silence all American media.
Is
that's so big, so big.
Radical people in China, these radical people in Russia say "fuck the U.S."
They should have every fucking right to say that. They
should be able to. No, it's not wrong to say that because they don't know anything about the U.S.
I'm not
besides
on
what
about-
they're taught
I'm
there.
not on
Inciting
about-
violence is not allowed on
Anywhere.
those
It
platforms.
doesn't matter
No.
which country to which country. Vietnam to
No, it's not, Rob.
Mongolia.
No, inciting violence
Whatever.
is not allowed on those platforms, but the EDL did it. They did it in Myanmar, and they killed fucking, how many? 24,000 people?
Yeah, and that should not have been allowed to happen. No,
Yeah,
not
but
at
it
all. It
did.
should have been caught.
But it did, and it'll happen again.
Well, it's always going to happen. We're
And it will
humans.
keep-
How long have we been killing
But
each
I
other?
mean, let's look at the Holocaust, okay? And I hate to keep going back to Hitler here, but there was no goddamn social media when he killed millions of people.
No, you're right. You're right. There wasn't.
So it's like it's gonna happen one way or the other.
Yeah, but we don't
Something-
need. Yeah, but we don't need social media helping that to happen.
So why doesn't everybody just stop social media? Stop using it.
Then so be it. Fuck it.
99 cents a piece.
Let's
Rob will stop. We'll
let's
stop, and
burn
they'll
it.
stop, and
Let's
I'll
burn
stop.
it all to the ground. Fuck them.
Then how? Okay, so then let me ask you this: how are you gonna have a job?
I still have a job. I don't use social media. I still have
But
a
a
job.
lot of. Mm.
I mean, it's
Well-
rich coming from us on a social media platform at the moment.
It
but-
really is. It really is.
For the
I'm
record, I
just
don't agree
saying-
with you guys.
I'm just saying it needs to be dealt with a bit better, man. Like it
Yes,
really does.
100%. In our
I'll-
own
I was
countries.
against the
Because
lady
how
here.
can we tell other countries do what they should do? You know what I'm saying? Like we can't tell China, hey, you can't put that in your own news media in your own countries, or Russia, or Mongolia, or Vietnam, or South Africa, or wherever the fuck you're at, right? You can't tell them not to put that shit in their news because that's their own
No,
goddamn country
I'm not
and their
saying-
own laws, their own.
I'm
In
not
your
s-
country, yeah,
I'm
that's
not
fine.
saying they can't put it in the news. I'm just saying
Exactly.
stop spreading your disease throughout the world. Is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
no, I agree with you 100% that people that are doing it to harm other people are idiots.
So what we say in
But
the chat
it's gonna happen.
is for being in the know. People want to know everyone's business, and that's yeah, that's a point. But it just needs.
I don't want to know other people's business.
it just
but
needs-
I'm
all
also,
personal.
like
it
I'm also
needs-
like
it need-
0.1%.
It needs sorting out because it's ruining people and it's killing people. That's what I'm saying. So off
All
the
right,
back
I
of
think
that,
with that.
Dan, you're not wrong.
All right, let's
Yeah.
call it there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's call it.
let's call it.
We're almost
So
forward at March.
before
Let's get a
we
skull for the end of the night.
before we fuck
Yeah.
off, skull, and thank you very much to everyone that's watched tonight. We appreciate it. Make sure you hit that submission
It's
form,
like a
which
smidge.
you can see in the about section. There's a link down there. You can click on that, and if there's something you want us to talk about next week, submit it, and we'll talk about it. As long as it's not just bullshit. But we will have a good go at talking about it. Also, our YouTube, you can see the links have just come up in chat. Go over and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We upload clips every single day of the week, from the 5-minute rants to what we're drinking and whatever we think is good content, we'll throw on there. So make sure you jump on there. Twitter as well, give us a follow, and all of it. So I'm gonna say good night, and I think everyone.
Yeah,
Skull?
thank you guys so much for stopping in. We'll see you guys next week. Appreciate it. Have an awesome night.
Yeah.
Love
sit
you
down.
all, and we'll see you next week.
Love
Moment
you
of
all.
silence.
Cat. Oh,
Oh yeah.
yeah. There we go.
That was a good one.
Catch you later. Love you guys. Peace.
Love you all. Later.
Ciao, boys and girls.